All right. Sheesh. These weeks be flying, man. I'm already back on already. I said I was gonna be back. All right. With an enhanced voice. With the enhanced voice. Today we talk about standards and boundaries. It's a new thing that's going on around here. Around here. What is the problem? What is the problem, man? Yo,
To you, bro.
what's
Uh, yeah, man. These are simple, bro. Obviously, men and women, we don't have standards no more. Biggest thing for me, women's don't boundaries anymore now. So see kind of these lives that are living, and then you also see the hurting that children, the next generation, creates another generation of just the same thing that is regurgitated. So ultimately, men don't really have those standards that we used to have when it came to women, and same thing with women. They don't really have those boundaries anymore, which kind of links into standards, you know. So they're making bad
mm-hmm.
decisions with their own eyes. And then, like I said, the biggest repercussion of that is these unwanted children. And then they bring up the next generation. They don't know how to raise their kids properly, or they don't know how to teach them skill trades, or better yet, they're not mentally stable enough to create a functional kind of family. So I hope that wasn't too much, but yeah.
That's facts. I'm not. That's facts. You hit that right there, man. For sure. That junk crazy though. But you said like both of us. I guess I get you to a certain extent on different like the a lot of people don't got about it. It just depends on what it is about too though. Because I was So all right, let's go on ahead. So you already hit basically the topic already. So what's up with the first question, man? How you feel about that, man?
Said why can't men have boundaries without some women getting? I think it comes down to ultimately options, man. Like, and what a man is supposed to be in society. Like, you know, a man is, of course, he's supposed to have emotions and all this stuff. But what society creates is a man can't go out there and complain about his life every single day, or ask for a handout every single day, or
Right.
better yet, he's not going to be able to live his life based off of fear or assistance, because men don't really have the option like women do. So women, it doesn't matter. You know, if you are a woman, you got plenty of options when it comes to different men. You have plenty
Right.
of options when it comes to assistance and aid, because you are a woman. So men tend to take care of the woman or protect the woman. So in all circumstances, to wrap it up, I would say it's the same thing when a woman doesn't care about a man's preferences versus a man has to care about a woman's preferences. Because if he didn't, he's not going to get the woman anyway. You know, if he doesn't keep up with himself, take care of himself, hygiene, haircut,
Right.
money, going to get a job, a woman's not going to give a shit about him. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. You know, especially if he's not good looking, you're not going to get any time of day versus the woman, she's going to have plenty of options, man. Even if she is
Facts.
not that attractive, she's going to have 10, 12 dudes all over at a club. So hopefully that kind of makes a little sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel you on that though. You gotta open their eyes to it, but privileged people don't know they privileged though. But I feel you on that though.
Yes, sir. That's very
Number
true.
two, why are women that want to treat their men like leaders considered pygmies?
Why are women that want to treat their men like a leader? What's pick me's, by the way? Like selecting.
That's some new stuff people came out with. I really don't understand it. I still don't understand it though. They just call them that as an insult. Some women call other women that as an insult, as in they
You
trying to
know what
get
it
picked.
is, man? It's again that whole society problem with women's empowerments and women's rights.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with the empowerment. There's nothing wrong with the rights, but if a woman wants a family, and ultimately that should be her biggest goal in life is to have a family. I would think most women would want that, majority. So
Yes.
the problem they see is when they pick a leader, they're looking at the leader as almost a master or a boss, or some type of, like, I don't want to say manipulator, but they're looking at that person in the wrong aspect when it comes to marriage. You know, a leader. is somebody that can lead you in the right direction. And even me growing up, I would look at older people as that kind of leadership, because there's a lot you can learn from them, but better yet, there's a lot of things they can help you along the way, whether it's
Facts.
financially, mentally. And I'm not saying all men make the right decisions, but what I am
Nah.
saying is if you are with the right man, then you should choose for him to lead you, because we all know as well as anybody, women can make great decisions. They have a great intuition when it comes to children or emotions. We know that. But then we know what men do very well as well. We protect, we lead very well. And you see that in every role in America, man. Like, I don't think there's a reason why there's not a woman president. I think it just comes down to the facts behind what we've done traditionally. So
Yeah.
to wrap it all up, man, women are looking at it the wrong way. Because if men would look at women in a different way to say, oh, well, all you are is, somebody that's supposed to cook, clean, and shut up and make me a sandwich, then they're looking at it the wrong way. It's a
Right.
partnership, and it's a gender equal partnership. So you got to know who plays the roles. And I
Right.
hate to use sports, bro, but look at the NBA, look at the WNBA. They will complain about having this platform. They make good money, but it's not enough because they're looking at the men in a different way. They're saying, well, we're just as equal to you. But then if you look at numbers, you look at ratings, you look at performance, they're not matching the same energy for the main biological reason we were created. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's a great way to put it, man. Look at the sports and you see that. They play a good role, but you're going to have differences because you can't change biologic. You can't change what God has given us for the reason. And the same thing with men,
Right.
man. Men can't sit here and portray themselves to be better than a woman when it comes to maybe
Mm-hmm.
nurturing a child. Like we're not doing that.
Yeah, that's what be messing it up, right? They
100%.
gotta dodge them type of people, just like the ones that the ones that can't. Everybody ain't for everybody. That's the thing, though. But yeah, I feel you on that, because it is some dude. Oh, I'm powerful. I'm this. You must do that. That's none of that shit. None of that stuff should be voiced. It should be a genuine thing that people want to do for one another. You know what I'm saying? A man should want to do the best for their family and do whatever it takes. A
Mm-hmm.
woman should automatically just want their man to do that. You know what I'm saying? And let him, because if you
Right.
got to question it and all that other stuff, I don't get it. Like, why you with a person that you got to question? I mean, you ain't vetting right, or
Well,
something is messed up on that situation.
even look at the past history. I hate to use this because everyone's like, "Oh, we don't live in that time no more," but we still do. Men are going to be the ultimate sacrifice for the generation they leave behind. So if they have kids or they have a wife, they're the ones that are fighting on the front line for that main reason. It's not because they're not scared. It's not because they don't share the same emotions maybe that the woman does. It's because you're expendable as a man. And see, if women would look at that leadership role as that, because you take a lot of shit being a leader. Even the president will, whoever you are. So what I hate about it is women want to be masculine when it's beneficial for them, but then when it comes to being feminine, because most women operate better when they're being feminine, then they can
Right.
kind of hold the reins back, and that's not fair because a man can't do that. A man can't be like, "Oh, I want to be feminine for 2 days,
Nah,
and then when time comes, I want to be a man." It doesn't work that
wouldn't
way.
even get a chance.
Wouldn't even get a chance, brother. Yep.
Yeah. That's because we reward both. I mean, we reward, we reward it. I guess that's I found me a tongue tie now. And we reward it when we see like a masculine, so they feel like we should allow it, but they don't reward us. As soon as we do it, we say we off to the thing. Men don't want to do that junk anyway, though. But it just be always an excuse on that end.
I
So that
think
junk be
that's
fun.
what's showing why like the marriage thing isn't happening anymore. I think why men are starting to slowly not wanting to date women anymore is they're starting to realize that these women aren't as amazing as we once thought they were when we had religion under our boat. With religion, I'm atheist, but with religion gone, there's no constraints to like what role should be doing what. Now that kind of religion is tossed across the room, it's about who has more money now. I
Mm,
do
But
believe
let me
that. But
I just want to say one thing to that because you're right. But the biggest thing it's coming down to, if you look at women are initiating most of their divorces solely because of the reasoning that they don't want to pick a leader. They want somebody that's equal to them. And then they
mm,
run across the problem 5 to 10 years later. They're like, damn, this guy lets me do whatever I want. He's not a leader. He's not helping me grow mentally. I'm not getting that type of structure I want. And then they initiate a divorce. And that's
mm.
all goes right back to the lack of judgment again, not saying women all lack judgment. I'm just saying that they're going to pertain to make maybe more bad decisions when it comes to selecting that partner versus what men should be doing. We should be giving the right type of woman the attention instead of the supermodel that we tend to.
On my in my opinion, my buddy's opinion, and I'm currently in college, so I have quite a big friend group, and we're all kind of the same kind of. I mean, that's good, but from our opinion, we no longer want to date women because I think technology has made men very smart. As stated back in the 70s, 80s, when computers weren't really a thing, where you had to be a decent like household, you'd be like kind of like wealthy to own a computer. Like information wasn't as easy it is just to come by today in age. But I believe that what me and all my buddies talk about is we're learning the truth of female nature, and this is what's coming down to. If we look into like our distant relatives, the apes, I'm atheist, so I look into that more kind of thing. And if we look at the actual female nature and how our closest cousins act with females and what it actually entails biologically, no manipulation involved, no social construct. If we didn't have this brain, we wouldn't be such easily flawed. So if you look back to the biological level of what we all primarily desire, you'll see that women are and men are chemically like just flawed, and we were never designed to be in relationships at one point at all. In the end of the day, when the woman ape would want to escape the thresholds of the male ape, he would run. But if that male ape saw her doing that, he would pretty much beat her to death or kill her. So basically what it comes down to is we're starting to slowly realize, I think just naturally, we don't have to go to like the biological level, but just naturally about how flawed just relationships are at the end of the day, or how flawed women are at the end of the day. We can throw out here and be like politically correct, but I feel about being truthful to everybody and just to myself. And the truth of the matter is if you throw everything away, you start seeing that women will always want to or grow up, or like how we say it, go one up you basically. So you'll see like men that are in relationships or are married to 5 years down the road, they'll end up having to have a sexless marriage and stuff like that. She might disrespect him a little bit more, and they're like, "Hey, let's go to couples therapy. It's you're doing this wrong or this wrong." No, it's just that women aren't designed to be in an actual like committed relationship. It's not designed that at all.
The thing. I agree and disagree only for the sole factor of if you look at why a woman needs a man, there's a lot of different things you could say. Like we talked about leadership, protection, breadwinner, all these different things. But for a woman, there's one sole gift that a woman's going to provide for a man. I don't really think it's anything else. I don't think it's intellectual, money, properties, motion, support, none of that. I think it comes down to his new generation, which is carrying his child. Now, this is why I say you do need the right type of woman, because she should only be able to add value to your status by who she is. So if that all that means, sorry,
Yes, heck? Can't be having one of those on live, man. What is that? Vibrating like that.
So there was never the right woman. There was never a right woman. The reason relationships
I
worked
see
out
you, Jane and
back in
Jen.
the
What's
day,
up, y'all?
the reason they worked out so differently back in the day was because of the religion model they had. It gave each like role, a gender or role of how to do things and stuff like that. So the fact that religion's going bye-bye, I mean, they're just we're done. There's no more. Well, and it's not like theories. It's the truth. It's the truth at the end of the day. There's no theories to this.
The heck just happened? Man, it dropped. That's weird. I don't know what type of man. Boy, somebody got caught. I was talking to, but
yeah, he was at.
I guess you ain't hit some of these things though. So the topic itself, standards and boundaries are bad now. You know, that's how I put it in that way. It'd be crazy. How you feel about the topic just overall before we get to the point?
I tackled the first one for you. Why can't men have boundaries without some women getting angry? Let me read that one more time for you. Yeah, so that's going to come down to that the women have the say in the sexual marketplace. They get to decide of what partner they actually want. I believe that men settle for the best they can get looks-wise. So when a woman gets the man and the man starts wanting to set up certain things, I believe that women get angry just to kind of spite them at the end of the day, or is that getting what they wanted? Women can get whatever the hell they want at the end of the day. They have the evaluation. Every like the men especially if you go into the like manosphere really bigly, they go, oh, get money and all this stuff. It don't matter. The girl's still gonna leave you. If you look at Tom Brady is better looking than most people on this app, has more money than almost anybody on this app, more status than anybody on this app, and his wife left him for the simple reason of he wanted to keep doing football, and she said, "No, I want you to be a family man." So if that man is having the constraints of that, like if you want to say quote unquote alpha male, the top tip 1%, he's able to have relationship problems, and she gets angry that he wants to keep working. It kind of tells you that there might be a flaw in the actual biology of women than actual relationship issues.
Okay. Number two. What's the deal? Hashtag, man. How you feeling, my brother?
I'm all
Uh,
right there, Laugh. What's happening, bro?
I'm good, man. Number two. Why are women that want to treat their man like leaders considered pygmies?
I have to know your definition of what a pick me is. I've heard it thrown
Dang,
around. I have
you
no
the
idea what
second
it is.
person that I guess you haven't been hearing that around. That's crazy.
I
You the
don't
second
keep.
person
I
that asked
barely on
that.
TikTok. I'm
I
on here
can't
to
really
learn
tell you
things.
either. I just know they use it as an offensive type thing or whatever. I guess when a
They
woman.
don't affect me, so it don't matter. So why don't we go to do you believe? Let's do the third one. Go ahead and read that one.
All right. Do you believe men's standards are too low and women's standards are too high?
100%. I think we should start having these as men's standards. Are you ready, women? Are you ready? Virgin is number one. Number
Ooh,
two has to be 20 and be a virgin. That's gonna be the first thing. Number
oh
two
my.
is going to be the woman has to make over 100K. The third is she has to buy me a Challenger. That's a third. That's a third.
What the?
The fourth thing is she can't be looking at other men. That's the fourth one. The fifth one is if she starts flirting with another man, I'm able to beat her. There's her standards for men.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just hit that from a whole different angle. Well, you almost sounded like that list that came out. Boy.
I was trying to parody off of the
Boy.
women's list nowadays.
Call me up, guy. I'm gonna start hiding in my own house. What the heck? I don't know what the. All right, let's see what hashtag got for us, man. All right, my brother. The topic itself, man. How you feel about it? Standards and boundaries are bad now.
Yeah, man, the world's inside out. I do think they're bad when it comes to men, and I think that women overwhelmingly are hiding their prices behind their preferences.
Mm,
And they're presenting prices, they're not presenting preferences. Not all women, but a lot of women. I'll just say that. So that's what's happening. They're just saying preferences, but really what they mean is prices.
mm. Oh my. Okay. Guess we get to number one now. Why can't some men have boundaries without some women? Kidding. Wait, why can't men have boundaries without some? I had to make sure I put that. Not all. You know, these not all people that come in. Some women getting angry.
I, I think men can't have boundaries without some women getting angry because there's a condition of coddling that women have, like they've been conditioned to be coddled. And boundaries are something, just to be clear, boundaries are something that you put up to protect your standards.
Hmm.
Boundaries are something you put in place, like if my like because your standards manufacture your life, right? So
Hmm.
if my standards, for example, is I'm just gonna say something simple. Like my standards is I don't like my silverware to I don't eat plastic and silver combination silverware. I don't
Hmm.
do combination silverware, right? Like there's no combination silverware in my house. It's either a plastic or it's silver. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Hmm.
There's no plastic and silverware in my house. So if a
Hmm.
woman came to my house and she brought plastic and silverware, I'm like, no, though those two things together, they hold germs. It's either going to be steel or silver, or it's going to be plastic. That's it. Those are the only two. It can't be. They cannot come together. You know what I'm saying? Like those two things cannot be together. I don't do wood and I don't do wood and like I don't do combination silverware. It's made of one solid thing or not, right? And so if she asked me why, I would say, well, because when it's two different things, that means they're separate items. That means in between them, there's going to be contamination in between them. So I don't do it, right? And I learned this from different chefs. That's why chefs don't use those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? In major restaurants, right? So I went on that long spiel to say, okay, a man's boundaries is put in place to protect his standards. My standard of living is not to have that, right? That's like something simple. So the reason why men having boundaries with some women gets angry, without some women getting angry, is because women, they're conditioned to be coddled. They're conditioned for men to be agreeable. They're conditioned for men to bend to them. They're conditioned to think that the word deserve has something to do with just showing up and never
I got a
earning
topic about
anything, right? They say the word
that.
like
We was in that room when I was talking about that too, right?
the word deserve, when it comes to some women, they think that it means I showed up, so I should get everything that is available here. And men don't typically think that deserve means that. We think that even though it's an implication that you should get everything there, that it's only implied that you should get what you can afford or what you've worked for there, right? I think that's why a lot of women have issues with the boundaries of men and stuff like that. And then also what boundaries do too is it will take out a lot of women. It will not let women in behind our gates. The dangerous women that or women that are not suitable for us are not allowed. It doesn't matter how pretty you are. Like, women live in a place of exceptionalism. Men don't live in exceptionalism. We live by consequence. There is no exceptions. We live with electric fences in our lives. So everything gets zapped by the electric fence. It doesn't matter if you're a baby, a piece of paper, a dog, a human. It doesn't matter. The sign said don't touch. You know what I'm saying? So men live an electric fence life. Like, especially men of discipline, we live electric fence lives. So I think that's one of the reasons why women have issues with boundaries, because a man's boundary in most cases is an electric fence. And I'll put one caveat, maybe not with his daughter. And that's the problem too. We do groom our daughters to bypass our electric fence. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. So before I'll get to that next question, real quick, I'm gonna do a break. For the people that's in the comments, right? People that's in the comments, hit them likes for me real quick. Try to see if you can give me the 1K because the room's kind of short today. And then if y'all can give me like 10 shares if y'all got some peoples and stuff.
I'm share it out for you. I said I'm gonna share it out for you too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Good looks, yeah. With how many people y'all can get in this boy, you know, the people, you can even give it to some of them women that hate boundaries too.
Oh yeah,
give it to them too. You know, get them in here, let them learn them something real quick.
Those are the main ones that add me, man. The women love my banter.
Bring all of them in here, man.
I don't change, bro. I don't change unless I give you notice. And I don't bullshit unless I give you notice. And I think some people, a lot of people want to catch you in these ahas, but I don't change and I don't bullshit unless I give you notice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know when I'm finna bullshit. I know when I'm finna change. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you on that though. But look, you remember I told you we was talking about that deserve thing in altar room, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because you already know I was the only one that was in there that I got that feeling towards that deserve stuff. But I actually thought about it, then I looked it up actually today, so I'm gonna have a live about that. I think a lot of people mix earn and deserve. Those are two different things, right?
Man,
and I thought I was right about the deserve thing, huh?
Deserve is a violent ass word, bro.
Boy, that's what I'm trying to tell people,
It's
man,
a
and it
violent
hurts.
ass word, bro.
Yeah,
It's
I
very
can't.
manipulative. It's one of
Yeah,
those words. It's kind of like mature, right?
yeah,
Like deserve and mature are some violent. There's some passive aggressive words, man.
yeah,
Because I'm telling you, like the society we live in, a 4-year-old girl can tell a grown man he's immature, and it be valid.
yeah.
It'd be valid simply because she's a girl. Because ultimately, men have no control over what is mature and what's immature.
Mm-hmm.
That is not one of our areas. We don't decide that. Like we have to understand that there are some things and some words and places that we have no control over, bro. Like we don't have no power in these areas. Zero. Mature is one of them.
Right.
We don't have no power in maturity, bro.
I like. Well, yeah. Maturity. I think that's like into the self thing, but I don't know. It's so many different things where.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
I'm just saying a woman can call you immature.
Oh, I get you.
And
You saying off their perception and stuff. Yeah, I get you.
yeah, like a woman can call you immature and you can there is no
I could
way
be
out of it. There's no
right.
way
I
out of
feel
it.
you on that. Cause they call me that because I played a video game, but I don't think maturity got nothing to do with it.
It has nothing to do with that,
Has
bro.
nothing to
It
do
has,
with that. It's more.
but what I'm saying is that the way things are defined and the way they're used socially is totally different, man. Totally different.
Hmm.
I'm gonna answer this last one, and then you have a lady on the panel, so I want to give her a shot at speaking and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So the last prompt, or what was the next prompt or whatever, and that'll be the
Do
last
you
one.
believe men? Oh no! Oh, dang, we was on the start second one. Why
Well,
are?
I don't,
Oh, we
I
did.
don't. I,
We,
let's skip that one. Go to the third one. We'll let
okay.
her
Okay.
answer that second one because I think she would have probably more intel on that.
Hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Do you believe men's standards are too low and women's standards are too high?
I do. As a general, I do. I think men don't require enough. I I I I think men are very general, and that's to our detriment, man. Like for example, let's just use one of the most hot button situations. They say that 70 plus percentile of women are not getting their big O's, right? And my question is, if they're not getting their big O's, then whose problem is that really? Because I know that I get my big O, and I know most guys get their big O because most of us know our bodies well enough to get our big O. But the truth of the matter is that most women do not know their bodies, and the women that do never complain about not getting their big O because they know how to make anything get them their big O, whether it's small or large, right? They know how to, women who know their bodies always get their big O because they know what they came for. And they don't indulge in situations that don't get their big O. The women that are complaining about it are failing themselves. It's not necessarily the men who are
Hey, give
failing
me
them.
a second, y'all, real quick. Hey, do some commercial music or something, real quick.
Yeah, go
Bring me
ahead. Go ahead.
back
Put
a
some commercial
plate.
music.
Go get me a plate, Kev, because I know you about to get something. Kev always got something.
What do you think, though, G,
Oh,
about
about the
about
questions?
the big
Or
O
what?
situation? Like just since we there until he come back to you, because he's gonna come back to you in a minute. But what do you think? Do you think that the onus of the big O should be on men or it should be more on women?
Mm, I mean, it's kind of like a split because I know a lot of women that proclaim they haven't had the big O, primarily because we don't know our bodies the way we should know them. And women are more the pleasing type when it comes down to you talking about the big O. We're more of a pleasing
Big
type.
O, yeah, yeah,
So
the big O, that big
a
O.
lot of the time our minds are on what the man thinks concerning reactionary versus what we're trying to do to accomplish it. So a lot of the times, we're more satisfied with them enjoying themselves than us enjoying ourselves. You have to be selfish trying to get that O. And I tell that to women all the time. Like in order to, it's a situation where you're with somebody you want to be with, but as far as like sex is concerned, that's more personal. That's the most selfish action you could ever have in life in order to achieve that.
Right. I mean, I'm with you, I don't think it's split. I think more of the onus should be on women because it's their body, right? This is almost as similar to a my body, my right type of deal. Like I think that if it's yours, you should center it, right? You should know what it would take in various ways to get what you want. And
Right.
you should be open enough and real enough because I'm gonna tell you, the women who schooled me in the whoop de bam, the women who schooled me in the whoop de bam primarily were older women. These women did
Right.
not let me leave until they got their big O. And they
Right.
showed me how to get their big O. Like there
Yeah,
was no
it's a
doubt
learning
about it when I
curve.
left. Yeah,
It's a
there was no
learning
doubt
curve
about it.
when you do the deed. Just like a man can sit there and say, hey, you need to twirl your tongue a certain way for me to do, you know what I'm saying, for me to get off, or you need to do this. We're not comfortable. A lot of women are not comfortable because it's almost like saying he's bad at it. Like, we get the question of, after it's done, was it good? You know what I'm saying? And that question primarily comes up the majority, 99.9, like Lysol. It comes up the majority of the time, was it good? And most of the time, women lie. That's why there's a great deal of men sitting around saying how big they are, how great they are, how they made the woman splash. And that don't be the case, because a lot of women, they don't want, they don't want to say, no, you're bad in bed. Really, they're not bad. You just have a bad way of explaining how you want it done. A lot of women don't know about their bodies yet. And if you never had the big O, you don't even know how to get to it. Just like if you never had a splash, it needs to be taught to you. I don't know if you remember, but it used to be this older palm colored lady used to come on HBO, and I think
Got
her
the
show
roof.
was
Got
called,
the roof.
yes. And she would teach about the splash. She would teach about the gag reflex. She would teach about all that, because that's not something that our mothers are sitting around telling us. And education classes are only about the reproductive organs. They're not about how to get things. You know what I'm saying? So we're never really taught these different things. If women knew they can have 70 big O's in one day, then they will probably be doing it all day. If they knew that you could have touchless O's, they'll probably be doing it all day. So, I know when I first got my big O, I was 26 years old. I'm 34. And I did that by myself. My ex husband could come nowhere near. I just pretended. That's sad to say, but
Women,
I pretended with
women
him.
are very dynamic beings. Like y'all got some shit that men don't have. Like about the best a man can do that I know of personally is have a mental or like sort of mental jerkadex. That's about the best we can do. You know, if we don't have a mental jerkadex, we need a visual jerkadex. Like we got to see it. You know what I'm saying? But but
Right.
but if but overwhelmingly men, the patterns are all the same unless there's a mental block or there's a nutritional block or a sickness going on. It's pretty much the same three
All
patterns
right.
for men. You know what I'm saying?
What I
Yeah,
miss out
I
on?
feel you. What you eating? We talking about the
Nobody
big
cussed each
O.
other out? Huh?
No, we talking about the big O.
Oh, it's still on the big O. I was hoping my little
Yeah.
celibate ears can lead it. It's like, no, I'm talking.
No, because we want to move on without your host, and you know what I'm saying. He just wanted me to get my perspective concerning the big O and how many women, and it's sad how many women don't even know how it feels so amazing. Oh my God, it puts you right
Oh
to
my.
sleep. Sometimes that's the only way I go to sleep. Yeah, it's good. It's like ZQL. Okay, we done talking about the big O.
I'm waiting on my wife
We
for
should
that
do a
big O.
live on a big O one day and really get that poll going to see how many. I'm telling you, there are people who literally don't want to hold themselves accountable for them not getting it. They don't want to do
Right.
it. They don't want to.
They don't want to say
They
they
don't
tore
want
their
to
own stuff
say.
out the box.
Yeah, they don't want to say that it is any of their fault. They don't want to take any ownership of it at all.
Like the first time
They,
I ever splashed, I was by myself. I was using a toy. The first time I ever had a big O, I was using a toy. I was never like comfortable enough. You know what I'm saying? It was always like, does he like this? Am I doing it right? Is this perfect? You know what I'm saying? Is he coming on? You know what I'm saying? What is he doing? And am I pleasing him? And in that moment when I'm by myself, it's like I'm only pleasing me. So then I just carried that on within my marriage. Like, okay, from now on, I get it. I need to please me. Even though we together and we getting this big, oh, he get his, I'm gonna get mine. And I got like 4 of them. Well, we were still waiting on him. So, yeah.
I tell men, I tell men all the time, bro. I said, if you want a cooperative wife, if you want a great life in that area, if you want a great S3X life, then what you need to do is you need to get your girl some teammates. You gotta go get some sleeves for yourself. Some little like you might have to go get an Adonis. You know, you gotta go get some little beads or something to go here and there. You're gonna have to go get you a whole go gadget kit if you want a real healthy life. And you gotta leave her to her. You gotta ask what she likes, what feels good, or whatever. And you gotta leave the room because she might be self conscious. She might have some taboo. She might have some holier than thou thoughts about it. But you need to like let her figure herself out a little bit. You gotta Will Smith that thing and be like, go get happy. I want to see if we can even have
That's why
some
I'm
kids.
training myself now.
He
You gotta go
he
tell
just
her to
needs
do
to,
her for a minute.
yeah, he needs to make sure that she's comfortable. And sometimes in that moment, it is a little uncomfortable for us because our organs are on the outside, it's not on the inside. So we have a lot of different things going on in our mind at once. And if she's never had it, she doesn't know, oh, that spot feels like something. What is it? Oh, it might be, you know what I'm saying, pee, but it ain't pee. You can release that. Like you have to be very comfortable in order for that to happen. And unfortunately, in those moments, because it is selfish, it doesn't really make her feel comfortable. Like that's the person that we're trying to please primarily. Women are trying to please their man, and that's just about it when it comes down in the bed. So she's getting somewhat pleasure because it's an intimate moment. He's getting pleasure because it's a physical moment. It's intimate, but it's primarily physical. We don't look at the physical aspect. We only look at the mental and the emotional, or we only look at the emotional aspect of what we're doing. And when you got 10 million
You know
thoughts,
what's
and
saving,
some,
what's
and
saving
can I
my
keep it
whole
real?
game?
Can I keep it real though? Some men miss the mark. Some men don't know what to hit. Some men go past it a million times. It ain't up there in the uterus.
So can I ask you a question,
Who?
ma'am?
Which one? Yes.
Yeah, okay. Look, this is my thing, and I totally respect everything that you saying. So, do women not feel comfortable having that conversation with the man that they're with because of an ego thing for him? Because even in like my own relationship, she was kind of like a private person too as well. But I was like, look, there's no limits to what I will do. Don't have an issue, with learning. If it's something different that I don't bring to the table for you, let me know. So do women not express themselves because of I guess not wanting to hurt a man's feelings, because I know some women I talk to as well, they literally fake it, to make their man feel
Yeah.
like it. So why go through all of that when you could just have an open conversation? So what is the hard part about that?
Because I mean, look at it like this. He may think he did. You may okay. So say you get in bed, you think you did a good job. You know what I'm saying? You thought you made her shake. I done heard so many men. Oh, I made her shake and do all this right, and we fake that too. But it is an ego problem. We don't want to sit there and be like, you bad in bed. I mean, at our big grown ages, I'm 34. I'll tell anybody, nope, I get the little, you need to stop it box. But when you're young, it's like, oh, I don't want to tell you that you
What's up,
bad
Trap?
because maybe it's that I'm bad. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to hear that
I'm
we're
mad we
bad in
talking about
bed.
this.
But see, no, and see
So
that's the
Soon
thing
as
though. It's
Trap
like
came in here.
it doesn't have to be a disrespectful moment because again, and maybe like say it's just me. I've always known that I don't know it all, and I know that every woman like different things, when you're dealing with them. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I am the person that, pays attention to every, detail of my old lady. And then, I don't mind asking, like, hey,
right,
what I'm saying? But I just never understood why even for men, why would a man ego be that big, what I'm saying, to
they
feel like
are.
he could, yeah, accept a conversation because, you know, hell, a lot of times, just like you're saying, some men don't even know, some men got the mentality, hey, I'm finna beat it up, like, fam, every woman
Most
don't like
most
like that, and every
most
moment
men.
don't call for that. So I think it should be a place in relationships where you can be approachable. You don't have to, discredit nobody, make them feel like an ass, but there should be, an open dialogue there, because that, what, this is even a sign and a reflection of how we choose our mate, meaning that we get with people don't know a goddamn thing about, not even just sexually, just period. You know what I'm saying? So, when you're thinking about that, you know, that's where it originally starts at. We fall in love with the outside feature and things like that. We don't know any background history, their traumas. We don't know nothing. We just get right to it, and you're right.
Facts.
We get to that little hill where we're having sex, and like say, yeah, a man feel like he's the greatest, at what he doing, but he has never been set down and say, hey fam, we're not saying you're bad, but check this out. Me as this woman, this what I like. And then men too, also me personally, I'm gonna talk to you. And like I say, I don't have to degrade you, make you feel like an ass, but hey, if I like something, I'm gonna tell you, because I don't want to waste my time after time doing the same repeated thing. You think you own it, and you ain't.
But see, we mature and we grown folks, right? Talk to
Right.
me, talk to them. You
Yeah.
mature,
Yeah.
hashtag you mature. You know what I'm saying? Kev mature. At the end of the day, it's like we could sit down and, well, Kev haven't yet because he waiting on his wife, and that's perfectly fine. But you still mature though. You ain't got to participate to be mature. You know what I'm saying?
I
But when it
play
come down
video
to it,
games. Like
yeah,
about talking to.
if if it's down to, you know what I'm saying, you about to eat the pie, I'm gonna tell you how to eat the pie. You can't just stick, you know what I'm saying, a fork in it and just eat it. You gotta caress the pie with your tongue, and you gotta do certain things. And I'm gonna tell you nicely, I'm gonna say, nah, baby, do it like this. When it come down, and this is what I don't understand about the men that want younger girls. When it come down, or younger women, I'm gonna say that. When it come down to it, they could sit there and they can tell her, "Oh, I'm the best," because that's the conversation that we get. I'm about to beat that thing off the box. I'm the best. I'm sitting over here 8 strong. I make them shake. We hear all of that. Like a lot of men think that's sexy, and it's not. We hear how they're the best, 10 out of 10. They didn't did this, and they done made a crawl up the wall and became Spider-Man and all this other stuff. And then when it come down to it and you get into bed, it's like your ego's so high. I ain't trying to sit there and stroke it either if you ain't good. But some are just like, I don't need no direction. A lot of men really feel like they can go from one woman to another, and what one woman wants, another woman wants. So when it comes down to conversation and being mature in the bed, a lot of men and a lot of women are not mature enough to have that conversation while in the act.
Facts.
I'm gonna tell you when you're
So
trash
I
if you're trash.
look, I guess in the end too, because see what I'm hearing too, and what you're saying is the fact that some people are, they land on the other side of the bed unhappy, but not saying nothing, just for the sake of, I guess, trying to keep it peaceful and not hurt somebody's feelings. And and me myself personally, I am a life coach, and I do talk to a lot of men. And you know what? This be the conversation where a lot of the men are unhappy, especially when they get married, because the woman is not the same as what they're used to. And this is what I realize too, and this is what we don't realize that we do. We literally, as people, when we get into relationships, we do a trade-off. And a lot of us don't realize we do a trade-off, meaning that, like, even myself, when I was younger out there, like, I wanted all freaks. You know what I'm saying? That done everything that I want to do. And then we would tell ourselves, man, I ain't married nobody like that. That's just for right now. I'm having fun. And then you wind up getting with somebody that don't even do half the things that you like, because guess why? You didn't explore that option to make sure they was a full package. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was something else about them that attracted you to them. But like I say, all the things you really like sexually, you get that up to tell yourself in your mind that you're marrying somebody that's not like that. You see what I'm saying? So we do a trade-off
Right.
and don't even get it.
Right. That's true. That's true.
That's
I know
why.
I used to lay on the side of the bed unhappy, child.
That's a fact,
I
my
used to
brother. That's a
Thanks.
so
fact. That's a. I mean,
That's why I'm training myself now, man.
some I want to address it because I'm like in between moves right now. I'm like in between moves right now. But something I want to address is that a lot of women think that ejaculation for men means satisfaction. And many of us are unpleased, but we come. We will come once, maybe even twice, and still not be happy with you in the bed. And a lot of women think that ejaculation means satisfaction. And believe it or not, a man will get his off or whatever once or twice, and still you not better than that other girl. Because that, or if he has a comparison at all, that other girl actually was tentative to him. She actually had the playfulness. She actually smiled. She actually took time out to massage him before the act. And all, like, a lot of men like foreplay too, but our foreplay is not just just you jumping right on the bone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our
Is that
foreplay is a little bit
express?
different.
Is that
I mean,
expressed or
here,
is that sought after because you're not satisfied? So then you go out and you go find someone that satisfies you instead of just explaining this is how I want it
I,
done.
I think some men do express it. I think some men do express it, but a lot of times what happens is because there's a scarcity that exists in a lot of men, because there's a, or because I mean, believe it or not, the in most cases, right? In most cases, and this is something that a lot of men don't talk about. In most cases, what happens is the more closely intimate you guys become, the less physical interaction you have. So if y'all was having 16 interactions a month when you was dating, by the time you live together and have kids, you down to about four, two, maybe six if you're a lucky man, right? And so it's so far in between that he like, man, I'm just gonna take it whatever way I can at least say I got it. And that exists for so many. I've talked to hundreds of men, and most of the men will say this exact same thing, that they're just happy to get it. It's just they're like, hey man, I got it this month. It's like you just made it to a finish line regardless of what place you was in. Even if you was dead last, you was like, I made it to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys are appealing to scarcity, and then so when it comes to expressing that feeling, like, hey, you know what, you know, I want to get down with you, but even the few times that we get down, you're not even really satisfying me. I get off because my pipes is full. I get off because my pipes is full, but in reality, it's not even that good. I mean, any hungry man, you give him some crackers, he gonna be like, that was the bomb crackers. You know what I'm saying? if he's starving, you could throw him a cracker, he'd be like, man, that was it. That was the shit steak. And a lot of guys are living like that. So I think some men that do express it and do put it out there like that and really do say, you know what, I want to be treated like this, treat me like this, or whatever case may be. They have some of the same issues that women have with that whole ego thing, because some women be like, well, damn, I guess I'm just not enough. And now it becomes, I have to harbor your feelings before you address mine. You know what I'm saying?
It's just sad that this is a conversational piece for grown folks because if you get married, you should be able to talk about anything without the other person taking it to heart. And if they do take it to heart, they sit down on it and they think about why you're expressing it and what you can do with that information. That's the sad part about it because there should be no time where if you're married, if one partner does not want to do the deed, y'all shouldn't have that discussion because it could be a lot of different things going on. The body does change quite fast with a woman, and where y'all hit 40 and y'all hit y'all peak of wanting to do it like rabbits, we are slowing down because we're losing a great deal of estrogen. So a lot of those conversations should happen, and that's why marriage counseling is there. That's why you should invite people in your marriage. That's why being able to communicate is one of the foundational pieces that we should have within a marriage, as well as honesty. But you should be marrying somebody that you consider your best friend. And if that's the only person on this planet, your only friend,
Military.
because that is the only person in your world besides yourself. And the children are not included in that world when it comes down to your marriage because only two people are the covenant. So that should be a conversational piece. But unfortunately, people are scared because there is an ego and a pride that people still carry within marriages because they don't know each other that well before they even get married. Sex is an easy conversation. Baby, do it like this. I like that. Why feel embarrassed? Because you like that way.
That's why.
I'm
That's
gonna
one.
say something, and it might sound strange to you, but I think a lot of men will relate, right? I'm gonna say something real fast. A lot of men are afraid of making women upset. A lot of, because when men create situations of discontent or whatever, men have to pay for it on a physical and emotional level, right? And a lot of men are afraid. Like, I'm not afraid. I don't give a whatever. But a lot of men are taught and are honestly afraid to make women upset. Because whatever that is that they are getting, whatever ego, whatever part of themselves that is attached to the VJ, they're like, man, I need that thing. So by any means, I'm just going to keep this situation happy. I'm going to keep this situation quiet and whatever. And so men confuse quiet with peace and peace with quiet. And so a lot of times they're like, I mean, I'll land right there and say a lot of men are afraid of making women or being apart or just having a woman be upset at all. And
Well,
I'll stop right there. Am I lying, fellas?
wouldn't that lead to personal though? Because why would you want to be with somebody or marry someone that you fear having any type of conversation with? That's sad. So on that note, there shouldn't be a great deal of married people, period, if there's a fear. Because
I agree.
Well,
I wouldn't fear the truth. What else, six four?
so you know he
I
here,
mean,
right? So it always sound like a plane coming in.
You all know the B-57 is coming.
Lord, he always eating too.
Right, I was just about to say. The chicken
No, I
real
don't give a fuck
good,
about making them mad. Let me tell you something. That's what being a leader is all about. A leader gonna make you mad. And they gonna get two shit. I mean, hey, sometimes my wife be mad at me. But I'll let you know, you gotta know you ain't marry a punk. That's what you gotta know. You ain't marry no sucker MC. So, you married an objective man. A man who gonna get his last
Go to
goddamn
bed
one.
always, I see.
Yeah. I'm like, my man, I don't care. You still gotta tell them the truth. I know some guys who operate like that. Man, I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't wanna hear her mouth tonight, man. I don't wanna hear her mouth. I'll be like, man, I wish, please. Yeah, I wanna hear it. I'm gonna make you hoarse. I'm gonna make you so hoarse you ain't gonna be able to talk to nobody else till the next day. I'm for it. And I know they like to get their point across and they start crying and get hoarse. They go through that little stage. First they start crying, then they stop crying, and then they start getting hoarse. I'm losing my voice arguing with you. Well, shut the fuck up. Finally you realize something. This gotta be done.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Maybe two, right? Do you think that a lot of guys attach their self-esteem to their ability to get the whoopee, or do they attach it to their ability to express themselves clearly and wholly? I think a lot. Just me personally, I think a lot of men attach their self-esteem to their capacity to get VJ, right? And what ends up happening is that those are the guys who are afraid to say something to their wife when she's out of line.
Well, most likely the guys that are scared to say something to their wife or girl when they get out of line are the niggas who live with them. That's why he's scared to get out of line. Shit, he don't want her to put his ass out. There's a lot of husbands who moved in there's a lot of husbands who moved in their wife's house. And even though he the husband, she ain't gonna never let him forget, motherfucker, you moved in my house, all right? So in that case, there's a lot of men who did that. They moved into their wife's house. You know, they got married and moved in the house their girlfriend had before they got married. And when you do that, you kind of neuter yourself. And those the only guys I see doing that. The guys who move their woman in with them, they ain't holding it up. Them brothers ain't holding it up nowhere. No mercy. The guys that is holding it up, Them the ones who live with their woman. Them the ones when it's all said and done, their woman is their everything, and they don't want to rock the boat because it's really her car he driving. He just giving her the money. He just giving her the money to pay the note, but it's in her name.
I don't think it's just that. You got a lot of men out here that are into grooming. So when they meet a woman and she doing all of that, he think he can change her. Just like it's a lot of older women out here that when they get with younger men, they feel like they can change them. What you see is what you get at whatever time frame it is. So if you are met with immaturity, you're gonna have an immature woman that you're gonna be dealing with. Marrying her and walking her down the aisle ain't gonna change that.
Right. They be thinking that
It could
Peter
be
gonna
his
change
old
something on
house,
it.
his car. She could be a stay-at-home wife and be yelling and screaming and fussing and cussing. And I bet you she was doing that before he got married to her.
I was about to say, some men don't want to rock the boat. And they'll fool themselves into believing that they're actually helping. They'll forget because they, oh, well, I'll give her half of the bill and I'll do that. They forget, nigga, you ain't in your shit. And the golden rule is until you in your own shit, you can't talk, you can't cuss nobody out, you gotta be careful in how you put them in check. Especially if she got kids and you moved in her house. You can't say shit to nobody. You damn so can't say shit to the kids. Hey, how you talking to me? My mama gave you a room. How you talking to me?
I'm
So,
gonna throw
yeah.
the
I'm gonna need you not to be eating all in my ear.
boy,
Right, and not even sharing. He ain't even
For real, like
boy,
sharing with
snacking
her.
all
hands
in my
digging in the
ear.
bag, everything. I'm gonna throw the
Smacking and
curveball in
giggling.
it then, because that's the reason why I'm training myself. I'm just listening to what all y'all saying and stuff, but that's the reason why I'm kind of training myself on that because I know a lot of people, a lot of relationships are made like that. That's the main reason why I'm kind of trying to train. I'm not. I'm trying to make a word. I am trying to train myself now to not have like just in general, like can I say that word? A sex, I got whatever, a sex built relationship. A lot of them is just built like that. It's got to a point that now we just saying it's an important thing. If it ain't right, a person ain't good and all that other stuff. But I feel like you can train yourself to not be that way. I really like, and I'm gonna make a laugh about that too, because I know everybody gets shaky when they say hear that one though. But I believe like, um, with the like, really, a lot of us is in lust and don't realize it when we think we in love. Cause it's like get to a point like, oh, dang, if I don't get that tonight, or if it ain't good, or something like that. I don't know, whatever, all the stuff we come up with that I can't get with it, or something like that. I need somebody to make sure I'm popping it off or whatever, something like that. But it's like, dang, some people will literally lose a whole relationship, a good relationship, just because you ain't get your desires off. That junk is wild. But it's a mentality thing, though. I feel like it shouldn't be that dang on important for real. I think the important part is you can get kids out of it, really. But it's really a training thing because I love it. I mean, I do love it. I mean, love the feeling. I think it's the best thing in the world. But it shouldn't be that much to where you can lose a relationship because it's so important. I guess whatever how they making it nowadays, because eventually it ain't gonna work. Or somebody's not gonna work one day, and then you gonna end up losing out on the good situation and stuff. But
It's,
that's just me, you know what I'm saying?
it's a lot
That's why I'm
of
training myself now.
it's a lot of guys that marry some convenient coochie, and it's a lot of women that marry some daily D, right? And when
A
it ain't
lot of
daily no
them.
more,
That's most
or when it ain't
relationships.
convenient no more, like when it's no longer daily, and when it's no longer convenient, then people realize like, damn,
Cheat.
I gotta build something a little bit more dynamic, or this is over.
You see what I'm saying? Right. Exactly. That's why I think in foresight, like, I think ahead of time, basically, and stuff. See how this going to play out. Am I really with this person to be with them? Or I'm just with them because that thing is hitting right? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they don't look that deep into it, though. A lot of people let things slide past because of it and all that. It's like, that's the reason why not. I be looking past, like, even a pretty face and all that stuff. It's a lot of women on here, man. If I was in celibate, man, boy. But I'm just saying, like, I can see past it and see what I really want and stuff. Because a lot of us are ran by our the feeling that we got inside of our hormones and all that. Oh man, I know you sexy and all that stuff, but let a lot of dumb stuff slip past. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? Because we just really override. That's why I be seeing. That's the main reason why these dudes be acting a certain way, pander and all that other stuff. Because they just, they just see what they see and stuff. But nah, that's why I'm. That's like I said. That's why I'm training myself now.
Yeah, you're doing good, Cav. You're on the right track, and I know you're gonna meet a good woman. You know what I'm saying, that is gonna be available for you in all aspects. Because for one, you have a great deal of discipline. A lot of people don't have that amount of discipline. The problem is that
Dang, Wolf.
people fall. Hey, what? And I'm sorry, Kev. I ain't even say hey to you. My bad.
What's up, Jane? I gotta do it over there. Hey, Jane. I gotta do it like
So many people fall in love and lust, and they carry that lustful action out. They think about all the good things, and then they get down the aisle, because women just really just, we want to go down the aisle so badly. We want people to see this union. We need to rock our ring. We need to get the piece of paper to solidify and everything else. And we don't think about all the other stuff that happens within the marriage. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, yeah, they fall in that trap of, let me go ahead and hop in the bed and see if this is gonna work out, or whatever the case may have you. And then later on, like the gentleman said, you got to get to know the person. You don't even like the person.
right.
You're not even
Exactly.
compatible. You're only
Exactly.
compatible in the bed, and that's where you're supposed to stay. That was either in the bed or just as friends. I would say as friends. You know what I'm saying? But most people, they go from, I met you, now we dating. I met you, now we engaged. And sometimes it works. It depends on the circumstance. I've heard of people getting married, and even my best friend got married 1 month. Some people got married in 2 weeks, literally in 2 weeks. And these are older people, and they are still together. You know what I'm saying? Because they decided that within their marriage, they're going to work out all those kinks that they should have, and they're not going to blame it on anything else but themselves. And they're going to stay within that marriage and make it work. So
Yep.
the sex should not be the end all be all, because what if your spouse gets sick? What if they no longer have those parts no more? What
That
if they are,
boy.
incapacitated? What if they are in a hospital bed for a whole year? What if they're in a coma? You just gonna
Yeah.
go out there because you have that human need that you just gonna
That
stick it
need,
anywhere?
right? It's getting bad. That's you said that
Right.
perfect. A
What
need.
if you what if you go down for 15 years? It's so many that mess with each other, both male and female, because they went down for 15 years. You ain't got that much discipline to wait a year because your wife is sick or your husband is sick, or because they just don't feel like it. Maybe it's bills piling up. Maybe it's all this stuff within the household. Maybe it's in between jobs. The problem is that we want to equate sex as fixing things. I done seen a whole bunch of
Facts.
babies being made, and ain't nobody got no money in the house. Ain't nobody got no job, but you got time for sex.
Right.
It's not that important. It's a human behavior, yes, because we are all mammals, but we don't have to participate in it all the time. And it's not the
Facts.
end all be all to a marriage, just like cheating is not the end all be all to a marriage. It's a lot of things that should not be the end all be all. Everything is a conversational piece.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why I told people, like, and even with the partner or even with that situation, I said people, your significant other should be an addition, not an addiction. I made sure I hashtag that so nobody can't steal that from me. I hashtag it just in case somebody try. But yeah, it should be an addition to your life, not an addiction. A lot of people are addicted to their partners and stuff. That's why they can't do nothing without them. This is my world. This is you complete me and all this other stuff, man. But I feel like you should find more about yourself. Let me change that. Find a lot about yourself before you add somebody to it. You shouldn't have to rely on somebody like, oh, I'm truly happy now that I got you in my life and all this other stuff, whatever. And even they be addicted to the is that sis up there? I ain't seen her in 200 years. What's up, sis? Um, but that's what I'm over that. I mean, on that is just like with that should be an addition too. I was even saying I want to train myself so much different that I'm so in love, right? I'm talking about love, right? I'm so in love with my girl that when I get it or whatever, or it get to a point I forgot I supposed to get it. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know the relationship good. Like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be, this tonight. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I want to be to where it ain't. I gotta rely on it for me to, cause this how bad it's getting, right? I'm gonna do a live on this though, even though we on a whole nother topic right now. Ain't even the topic, but I do want to. Uh, dang, what was I about to say? Basically Hey, what was I about to say? I got a brain fart. I be doing that all the time to myself. Um, what I said. But basically, I guess I was getting to about that it should be, um, dang, freak. God, I hate when I do that, man. I think I've been getting older and stuff. I forgot the last thing I said. What did I say?
You getting old,
Uh,
baby. You getting old.
I know this is crazy. It was something leading to that, but it was something about the addiction and stuff or whatever. I guess, yeah, it should be getting to a point. Basically, I'm just so into the woman that it should, that when I get it, it's a bonus to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not nothing that make it crash or because like it's literally a lot of people that's like that. A lot of people are like, oh man, this might be wifey if it's. Oh, I was hearing a few people that still talk like that. It might be wifey if it's good or something like that. I'm like, no, that's like it's sad. It's like you can't. Some people got to realize you can't get it all sometimes too, man. Sometimes you might have to make a sacrifice for one thing to get the better thing, whatever. But people that's why a lot of stuff fell in love. They go for the good thing with a bad attitude. Not saying that you, but the other thing you can work that out though. You could find a way if it's really y'all trying to, whatever your fun time or whatever you want to call it. But I'm just saying it shouldn't be your backbone. That's all I'm getting to on that. A lot of people just make it their backbone to their whole relationship, and it's like it's really serious. A lot of people really don't know they in lust right now. They don't know. Cause I always ask people like, what would you do if your partner? Can you really deal with your partner without it? People be lying and stuff, but I bet money that you mad if you ain't getting none tonight. That's how I know. But yeah, let me. I guess I get back to the topic again. I'm gonna have that as a topic another day though for sure.
Yeah, it needs to be because it's gonna be a
It
whole
gotta
bunch
be
of mad people because they ain't got none last night or night
exactly.
before or last week. And some people go, I can go years.
Mm,
I'm a sapiosexual. I save all that up, all that energy for whoever I'm with and whoever I want to be with, and I ain't never had nothing short term. I've been
mm,
on dates and they didn't last because they were dates, but
mm,
as far as relationship wise, I save all that, store all that. I ain't saying I ain't flicking my bean, but I save all that for because I can't have casual. There's no connection to casual besides
mm-hmm.
just doing a deed, and that's not gonna get me there.
Exactly. There was something I was just about to add to that too. What was boy, this not getting bad. But yeah. Hey, what was about that? I wanted to ask. It seemed like it was gonna be something good too. I was gonna say too. She was talking about, but whatever. I guess I let it come back up. Shoot, bro. No, it's eating at me. I'm too much like this. I can't. I gotta think about it now. I be thinking I be want to leave some stuff alone, but I can't. I can't forget all that. I'm gonna think about it though.
But you're right about that though, Kev. Building you basically saying build yourself before you try to build with somebody. You do have to have, I think you should have a certain level of experience in life on your own before you get with somebody, period. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
school we came up from. We was taught when we were young boys, like y'all age and we were younger, we were taught to, get your bank up. That way, if you did meet a woman, you ain't had to, scrape for it. You already had it. You ain't had to say shit like, well, you know what? Let me do this first. No, okay, we can do that. Why? Because I've been getting money before I met you. We didn't get money and cars because of women. We got them because that was needed. That's what the men taught us. You don't want to get a car because of a girl. You want to get a car because it makes it that much easier for you to get to where you got to go. And in that, the women will see you. But you want it for your own convenience. It's better when you got a car and you got a job and you ain't got to catch the bus. That's why you want a car, not because you're trying to impress some girl. So you ain't got to wake up 2 hours early every day to go to work. You can wait for you can sleep in to 15 minutes left before it's time to get on the clock and get to work. All that means shit to us. Yeah, you should already be done some things. And then that way when you do get with somebody, male or female, y'all got more in common. You
Right.
got more to talk about. You know, yeah, I know what it's like to pay bill. Oh yeah, I know what it's like to pay that DTE. Oh yeah, them motherfuckers don't be bullshitting. How you know that? You gotta be a bill payer to know that. But if you don't pay bills, you'll be looking at me like, can we talk about something else? Nah. Productive people need to be with productive people. I think everybody should be productive until they meet somebody. You know,
It's too much for that though. Everybody ran off their desires nowadays.
well, I
I
mean,
think
you
I just
still
thought
keep
about
your
it.
desires in there. You still keep your desires, but don't forget the main goal. Have fun, but the goal, don't forget the goal. The
Yeah, but
goal is to
it
stay
shouldn't
up, to
overpower
stay
your.
secure.
It's like a priority thing. People prioritize the wrong things nowadays. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm about to say. And I guess I finally remembered a little bit. But they even portray it on TV and stuff like that too, though. Like they make it seem like, uh, it's like, oh man, what the freak I was about? Oh, I was thinking about it. Okay, there you go. I knew I was gonna do it, man. I ain't that old. I forgot I'm young somewhere else. Stuff. I'm in another room. I'm young, but but anyway, I knew she was gonna laugh too. She seen me. But yeah, you get my young stuff acting like I'm old and stuff. But anyways, I was about to say, it's also like people, there you go, the old stuff coming back. Us, freak. It's bad. It's bad. What the heck?
People watch too much TV because they
Something dealing
do.
with TV, right? Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't dealing with TV. It was about the. I was about to say. I think you were saying something about people be saying you stressing and all this other stuff, right? And people do think that too. I had friends when they was hearing about me doing that celibate thing, whatever. You know, you gonna be stressed the heck out and all this other stuff. But I be thinking about stuff like that. Like, why do people in this world really think like that? That's why I was always the type to try to prove people wrong. That's why that's why I do that. That's the reason why I am the way I am now. Why I know so much self discipline and all that stuff. Because I was the type to always prove people wrong. So it's like,
They tainted.
it made me think about that. People will, what they do is, they basically portraying themselves on you because they would be stressed, right? They would be stressed if they didn't have it, right? And I always be looking at it like, why are you stressed? Like, why are people stressed so bad, right? That you got to rely on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying when people find out they stressed and all this stuff, you gotta dig to the root why you like that. Cause we always be living with stuff that's been told to us, and we live off of it and never realize that why are we this way? We never ask ask ourselves the question why. That would literally answer a lot of things, but people just like living it. Well, I'm doing it because of that. Or I'm taking aspirin because of this. But always think about why. Is it because your bad eating habits? Is it because stuff like your body react a certain way? You know, your thoughts think a certain way for a reason. A lot of things happen for a reason. We just don't take the time to try to understand it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I be laughing at stuff like that, and it's nowhere like that. You gotta literally train yourself. Actually, you less stressed when you're not worried about it. You know what I'm saying? You less stress when you have to depend on stuff to be a stress reliever. You know what I'm saying? But people won't really know that though, for real, until they really train themselves and discipline themselves. People be stressing their own self out. They own
Nigga,
self
that
out me.
how that shit work. Bitch, she carry right to the right one. You only got a meter.
What the heck? I think he
Kev,
I
I was
think he
celibate for 7 hours. I mean, I was celibate for 12 hours, and I had to make 7 phone calls. I couldn't handle it. I said, "Fuck it, I'm weak. Call me weak."
boy, that sound
Yeah, but a lot of them
hectic.
people who tell you that shit though, man, that's because they know what it was like. So they couldn't imagine being without it. You know, they couldn't
Exactly,
imagine because they
addicted.
tainted
It's an
already. They
addiction.
tainted. Yeah,
It's
they
an
tainted
addiction.
already. So they couldn't understand. Man, you couldn't do without it, dog. Well, that's because you've been through so many people that it's confusing to you.
They
You
get
couldn't
bad deeper you
imagine not.
is.
Yeah, you couldn't imagine not doing it. I commend the
I
brothers
mean,
who
I've been
have
with. I
enough
mean, it's
discipline.
15 a lot. I had 15. I would say my body count is 15, but that's still like. Well, I can't say how many times I done did it. It's probably over the number, but I'm just saying. But even that, it's a training thing for real. My thing is, I was always the type that I never wanted something over my head. Like I always wanted to be able to figure things out on my own, or I didn't want to owe anybody anything. I didn't want to make it seem like that whatever. I just didn't never want to live the lifestyle that everybody else doing because everybody got this. I can't do this thing. I can't deal without, or I can't do this, whatever. But nah, I was always the type like I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't have to rely on certain things. I can figure things out on my own. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I don't know. People really don't see it, and they don't want to see it because, like I said, these desires are so dang on high. We can't even live life correctly some of the time because they so blinded. A lot of people like that and don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? Dang, this junk is projected. A lot of people don't. It's like that. They don't realize it though. I
Hey,
had to
cousin.
figure it out on my own as I started making a habit out of it in my life or whatever. But it most definitely hurt. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, yeah. Hey, cousin. Real quick, I gotta
What's the
drop down.
deal?
I just wanted to come up and holler at you.
For sure,
Um,
man.
but it's dinner time. You know, we gotta go sit down and do that thing. You know what I mean? But I tell you, bro, what you're saying is true, man. It's a lot of this stuff though is just habitual. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
we've been conditioned to think that this is what we should desire. So then when you actually do have that desire, you justify it with, well, that's how we're supposed to be because we men, we
facts.
want it, right? But the reality is you can control it. We just it's hard, so we like to deal with the low
Literally.
hanging fruit and not. You know what I mean? Like I've never smoked a cigarette, never had a sip of alcohol in my
Me
life. I'm
neither. Well,
49. I never drank. I never smoked anything. Never done any type of drugs. Never done anything. Even though I grew up with D boys in my family, like that's what they did. Like I was surrounded with it, but I never did it because
yeah.
I'm like you. I didn't never want to have something control me, right?
Facts.
And I saw how bad the outcomes would be. And then plus, you know, I was in martial arts or whatever, so it taught us how to be disciplined. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so I learned young how to control. So then when I get older, I'm like, okay, it's easy for me to turn it off. It's easy for me to do whatever I want to do with my mind because I've had that base of discipline. But if you somebody that grew up and you really didn't have that, you know what I mean? It's hard to turn stuff off that you've been, habitually doing your whole life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So sometimes I can't blame people for doing what they do because it's almost like your brain chemistry changes to where they just have to do it. And
Yeah.
even if they want to, it's not really an addiction, it's more of a bad habit. But and then it's the cost and reward. Like, why should I stop if I don't need to? A lot of people, if they
Mm.
get in a health condition, like, oh, get a heart problem to where you can't, if you get excited, you would die. Guess what? They'll stop doing it. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, it won't be a
Right.
problem. You know what I mean? Like, but we need things sometimes like that as humans. We need, critical
To
things
wake
to
us
come
up.
up to change
Yeah.
us, right? So, it's just one of those things. But if you keep making, posts about it, making lives about it, and kind of
Oh, I'm
keeping
gonna
it,
most
get it out
definitely
there.
talk about this. You're right. I'm gonna
Exactly,
talk
and
about
it
it for sure.
helps. It helps, and people are getting aware
Mm.
about it. So, but yeah,
Hmm.
I was listening to a lady before I got up, and she was spitting facts. I don't know
Hmm.
which one it was, but I think it was the lady before me. But yeah, that about the relationships, and you got to work for it and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's all about discipline, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
man.
I think once that's down though, that I mean that's because I realize I do got a lot. I'm gonna put it this way. It's weird that I don't want to say it like that, but I notice ever since I've been on this journey, right? My talking points is so different from a lot of other people, and I can tell it's just weird. It feel like I don't know. It's just like I know when somebody's led and not talking right because they so blinded. It's literally a blinder. Like when you don't got that, when you don't have that under control, you start saying some. I be like I literally watch guys be giving chicks a break on different things, be turning soft and all this other stuff, and I'm like, dang, because like it did get to a point, and I was in who was like I was in is she in here? But I was playing this little role play game yesterday, and my I don't know, and my people's live and stuff, and it's like this somebody said something and I was like, I just got turned off when she was like, she said, even though it was playing around, but she said, I'm bored or something like that. Or something. I was like, what the freak? You know what I'm saying? So I just automatically was like, all right, man, I'm turned off already because it's like you're not even trying to make a conversation or something like that. But it shows different because it's like I think if I was desperate or I was looking for, cootie cat or something like that. Oh, why you feel like that way? You saw it. Be better than that. You know what I'm saying? I can make you on board all this lame stuff now. But that's how people talk nowadays. And I noticed that. But I probably used to talk. I did talk like that too, though. That's one thing. But it's not that I'm not looking for buns and all that stuff. I can just see your ugly attitudes now, or the way you talking, or your manipulation games and stuff. Like it just don't work on me. It's like I got a superpower. It's just funny though. Even though some of these voices be getting to me sometimes, but it's like I can see past, a lot of BS sometimes. It's crazy though. It's weird to explain until you experience it.
Kev, it's been 6 years. October 17th made 6 years. And I'm proud of myself.
There's Proud
I'm
and
proud.
there's
I have to
Marine.
say that I need a participation trophy. I need
There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna
Right.
get me one. I'm gonna order me one on the TikTok shop
Yeah.
because at the end of the
Your
day, like I
participation
used
is
to
for
think,
yourself though. Shoot, that's you.
right?
That made a change in your life. Shoot, you don't even need no validation for nobody else. Shoot.
No, I'm just gonna get it on the TikTok shop and I'm gonna write my name at the bottom
Get a
because I used to think that solve problems, you know what I'm saying? I was married for a long time. I used to think that solve problems. I used to think that men's issues, I used to think that that's a way that I didn't have to talk about and sweep everything. I'm a little different.
hmm
I avoid conflict by any means. I don't like conflict.
I love it.
So if it's a conflictual person I could do it up here. We can have conflict all day and we go back and forth up here all day because I could just turn this off and it don't even really exist to me after that point.
Facts.
But in my relationship, I don't want to see the person I'm with upset. And I also don't like a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real shit outside the house. Everything outside the house is stressful. Everything inside the house should be peaceful. So if he came to me with a problem, I was like, oh my God, I'm just gonna stand in front of him just naked. That's that's how I solve problems. And sitting back and thinking about a lot of ways that I solve problems because to me, if I would have continued on, it would have turned into an addiction because that's the type of relationship you was talking about
All
earlier.
right, cuz.
You
Thanks
know
for
what I'm
coming.
saying? Like just the ones that's just influenced by that, and it doesn't get you nowhere. Like we were fussing in restaurants, like fast food or not fast food, but like the buffets. We'll be standing across one another fussing about something that happened at home. And then all of a sudden we in the bed. That don't solve anything. It's not the end all be all. So
Right.
I don't know. Just gotta
I
pick and
think you just
choose.
said what I
Pick
was
and
talking
choose.
about too. They use that like a
Hmm.
band-aid, cover up problems and all that stuff. Oh, you made me think more like how the movies be. I think I mentioned this a
Yeah.
few times in the post though about that they giving that act right and all that other stuff or whatever. Like it's gonna make that person change from being the same person they is. Like all you doing is coding it. Like, oh, now, I'm about to give you this tonight so I can shut your mouth. These movies be so funny, dog. People really be talking.
Yeah, like that scene in Belly. That was the best scene I've ever seen in my life. That scene with, what I'm saying, Keisha won't act the right. He gave her that act right. But that's how people just need to turn off their TV because that's not reality. Just like I
Right.
hear a lot of the guys talking about, okay, well, this is what I hear guys say. That's man talk. That's male talk. That's you talking to your homeboy. We get somebody different. We get oh baby, please on my knees. You'll tell your friend real quick you ain't simping. I ain't never met a man that didn't get on his knees. And it won't for no ring. I mean, about every little issue. And then it's a lot of men that say, oh, yeah, well, men don't do this and men are more logical. I've met a lot of emotional men. I've met men that say, why don't you have time for me? And I had to cut that off like, baby, I got to work. I can't go out with you on a date when I got to work. So when it comes down to it, we as humans, we're all emotional. But when it comes to the conversation that we do need to have with both men and women, we have to be more open minded. Men are not dating men unless they're a part of the rainbow. And if you
Right.
do want to understand where we're coming from when it comes down to relationships, you can't tell us what a man does in a relationship. They do the complete opposite of what other men think they do. They sit around and tell
Mm.
their homeboy, I got me some last night, knowing damn well he ain't had none since last year.
Ooh, impressing another guy.
Hmm.
That's another
It's all
reason
for
why I didn't
show.
care. Because I was like, dog, I'm over here going out my way to get some buns to impress my friends. I'm like, man, forget all that. I'm about to live no hectic life because I said, let me train
I beat it
myself
out the
now, man.
frame for a whole hour knowing he was 5 minutes. Oh, she
Oh,
fussing about this. I bet you he fussed first. I bet you they were both arguing. It ain't just her fussing, they were arguing. Just like us
right.
women, we go to our homegirls and we tell our homegirls a whole different story than we will sit in front of our man and say. We'll tell our homegirls, girl, you know he was trash. He need to get that thing bigger. He need to put on a pumper. But then we'll tell the
Oh,
man that he was great because we don't want to
um,
hurt their ego. We're not honest with one another on either end, but we could sit on panels all day and the men have something to say about the men, the women have something to say about the women, but unless you're dating the same sex, you would not know.
right. Y'all there? Y'all alive? The other two people alive? Uh-huh. I'll get on the topic in a minute. Yeah. But yeah, I have to bring my back up in here real quick. Oh, shoot.
I feel you, CD. I'll cut off anybody they show any type of unpeaceful moments. I don't like that. You argue, you fuss or yell at me one time. I'm not dealing with it. A lot of
What?
dates then
It's like, the
what happened? What Cam?
she said, I'm gone. It's like that.
Yeah, I don't do that. And I've left on dates in the middle of the date. I'll lie and say I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm hitting up an Uber if I ain't bring my car.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna sit there and entertain that. Mm-mm. Pay my bill at the front and leave because I go Dutch first date.
Okay.
And then we could swap. I like to swap. When we start like courting and stuff, I like to swap. So I'll pay for it. And it just be like a mental Rolodex. I pay for it. You remember I paid for it this time. So the next time you pay for it. And then we just go back and forth. If I take you to the movies, you take me out to go get some to eat. Or if I took you to go get some to eat, then you got the movies. Like we just swap. And that's what I explained in the beginning. Like, no, it's not just on you. I work too. So I want to take you out and you take me out. It's just money. Like it doesn't make or break. It's just money.
Mm-hmm.
So we should both be able to participate and experience. If I'm taking you out, you're gonna pick that time. So then I know what you like to eat. That's a way of getting to know you. You
Yeah.
might like Applebee's. I may not like Applebee's, but I might like an
Or the
appetizer. That's why I
Cheesecake
don't
Factory.
understand this list. Or I love Cheesecake Factory cheesecake. They got rid of the blueberry and white chocolate one, and that was my favorite one. I
I
used to
never
go
tried
there
it.
for it's so good. Oh my gosh. I only go there for the dessert because the food is trash. I wouldn't go there because the food is just trash depending on where you at.
I
Like in
got, oh,
Arlington, the
wow.
spaghetti had sugar in it and it was nasty.
What the?
But the
That
cheesecake
sounds
was
good.
what
You
happened?
don't like spaghetti and sugar? I mean, sugar,
I don't like
spaghetti?
cheesecake or cheesecake factory spaghetti. They put sugar in it and it just turned me off. It made me sick. But their
Okay.
cheesecake and their drinks are lit. Like
Mm.
it's always something on the list, like Chili's. I don't like Chili's entrees, but I'll eat their appetizer, like the little mini egg rolls. You don't have to have the meal. You can just eat the entree. But my mom always told me you need to eat a little bit before you go anyway, because of the first couple of dates, you're gonna do more of communicating. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just be facing the food. You don't know that person yet. So you want to eat a little bit before you go. You don't want to go somewhere starving. And then order like a little appetizer so you can get to know the person that you're dating. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's supposed to be about. It's an interview. Go
Right.
anywhere. Just not the drive through. But you can go to Chili's, Applebee's if you like Applebee's. You know, go anywhere you want to go. Go where your pockets take you.
Not according to that list. It's like, no, stop.
I like the men's list. They were more. Did you see the man's list?
I think it was it was two different ones seen. I don't remember it on there, but yeah, it was a
I
hit back.
agree. agree with everything, but the women's list was more about places to go, spending more money, or if you cheap. We we grown folks, right, Kev? We grown folks. Why would you want somebody that is gonna live way beyond their means anyway? Like I wouldn't expect nobody to take me to Eddie V's because Eddie V's steak is like $200 a steak. So I take myself to Eddie V's. Sometimes I'll take my daughter to Eddie V's. But that's my treat to myself. If my date only wants to pay for Chili's because they're more financially cautious, then I'm gonna go out to Chili's. If I don't like anything on the menu to eat, I can always get something to drink. And it don't always have to be alcohol. Like it's a date. Like I don't get it. It's a date. You don't like the food after you leave a date, go somewhere else. Pick up something to eat.
Right, just that simple.
These women that like they don't eat four for fours by themselves. You eat four for four by yourself.
I'm glad that list. I'll be glad when a lot of stuff come out. It just show me who I got to dodge, who I need to connect with, and who I need to dodge. A lot of that stuff be exposing things.
That part.
That's why I be seeing these topics and stuff. I see why they there for. I feel like it ain't no. I have got to that point where I'm not about to really force nothing on somebody that ain't trying to understand. But I do want to pick through the people that's least trying. That way we can build from one another. That's how I look at it. Cause it's like it's a headache. It'd be a headache trying to. You can't really. Ain't no more forcing stuff no more.
Hey, Kev, you got some
Yeah.
Bible thumper like I don't care what list y'all make. If you ain't on the Lamb's Book of Life, if you ain't listed on the Lamb's Book of Life,
That's the Bible stuff is saying if you ain't listed on the Lamb Book of Life. I just don't get Cheesecake Factory. Why cheesecake? Okay, I'll say Cheesecake Factory isn't a good first date because it's loud. Cheesecake Factory is very loud. If somebody doesn't like a lot of noise, then I would see that to be a reason why. But everybody likes dessert. What's wrong with cheese? I eat there. So that made me feel some type of way. Like I've been on some first dates to the Cheesecake Factory.
I think they had one that was legit on there was the house. Owner of the house at the first date. That was probably one thing that was legit on there.
Said owner of the house.
That double D's in here. Here go double D back. I see you.
They
Put
got
them
to own
things
it.
up.
Yeah, girl. And their avocado egg rolls, they are good. I love avocado. They are good. And it's an appetizer. So it's for the low low. I think it's like 12 or 13 bucks. And they are so good. Yeah, I don't get it. But owning your own house, you said that was on the list?
It yeah. I said it was saying like first going to the house for the first date. So I said that was probably one legit thing they put on there.
Right.
I wouldn't
They
recommend
said
that.
go into the house. Um, I think it was something about like fast food, which I agree with because fast food is probably going to be hotel.
Oh,
it was like maybe a few things I agree with up there.
you said water house? What the freak?
Oh no, we don't go to no house. Uh-uh.
We talking about marriage. We ain't talking about no just no. You talking about
Now when
marriage?
you
I don't think the house
courting,
be the first thing you want to do a date. I gave my man first night. I gave it to my man the first night. Now we together. Well, you an anomaly. There's too many people that did what you
yeah,
did. What the heck?
there's
That's
not a
why
lot
you
that you
double D.
do
Shout out
there.
talking to that.
Yeah, you like part of the 2% crew. There's not a
Yeah, I
lot
was
to
about to
do
say, yeah,
there.
you don't want to push the. I know a lot of people like doing that, the anomaly thing, but I wouldn't push that. I wouldn't tell my daughter to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be thinking. I think about chances.
I've drove
man,
on
you
Old
should have
Palm
seen that
before
list
for a
that I
movie.
got. I did a
Oh man.
live. I did a live with a list that the girls made, and it got on there. Oh my God, man, this shit is. Man, Kev, I had like 29,000 people in my, no, 60-some thousand people in my life. I had a 1,000K at the top. This shit was so hilarious, dog. This list was that fucking funny, man. And I was like, I'm not posting it to put nobody on blast. I'm posting it because it's literally funny. They got on there, stay away from the Grand Rising men.
Wow.
That's the men who say Grand Rising Queen. They got on there,
Double D.
stay away from men who don't have a driver's license. Stay
What's
away
wrong
from
with Grand
men.
Rising?
Look, stay away from men who bank through Cash App.
Wow.
Stay away from me.
I
Don't date
got
men
hold
who
on.
who got a low money on their card.
6-4. What's wrong with Grand Rising? I
I
say it
don't
all the
know.
time.
That was so funny to me. I'm like, what they got against the guy every time he greet you, he be like, Grand Rising. He greeting you. What's wrong with being greeted?
Now they would have put up there the guys that do the WYD, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
Grand Rising, they don't want to say you can't have a good morning, so you say Grand Rising.
Wow.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Double D. I got a question that was eating at me. You still with that guy? I wonder. Because usually situations like that ain't gonna last too long if the man wanted to be the one. Oh wow. Hmm. Wow. Because if a
How
man
long
trying to
has
look
it
for the
been?
relationship and you
I
didn't
don't
want it,
know.
I don't know about that one.
How long y'all been together?
Boy,
How long they been together?
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I'm waiting on, right? I'm trying to see.
Some more. 3 more.
I tried sneaking out and he stopped
$10,000
me.
a month.
Well, I hope you trolling. Cause that just all that stuff sound crazy.
It do. I'm
Cause
waiting like a
otherwise,
horse.
y'all not about to be together for too long. That's crazy.
So you didn't want a relationship and he did.
And he did. That's
Did you
wild.
ask him
Six, your
why?
stuff loud. I came in earlier.
Right. Did he hold a pew pew at your head?
He's older. Oh my goodness.
As a dude for some men being tough.
He must got some money or
Oh,
something.
honey. Oh, let me shut up.
What happened?
Hmm. Well, of course that's like it's like a little trap.
He hold up you and change your mind,
How
right?
how much how much
Well, see,
older?
with the older dudes, the girls gotta learn when it's time to leave. They ain't gonna tell you. They just gonna stop fucking with you. You gotta know when that cutoff time is and beat them to the punch.
Right, she but DD got something going on while he over there trying
Or
to.
they with you for the convenience of the fact that they getting old, so they don't want to go through the rest of their life alone. It's
Well, the
I don't
lonely
know.
part the
I
dudes can deal with is the temporary part they want. You know, if they only dealing with you for that time, just know it's for that time. Don't you be foolish enough to think that this is something. You gotta know for
that's
yourself, yeah, that this, no matter what he say, this is only for a time. This is
Yeah, how
only
long y'all
for
been
a
with each other?
time.
You ain't never answered that one.
she said.
She got
I'm
off.
52.
That's
But yeah,
crazy.
but that's the whole thing. Like I said, men have men conversation and women have the experience. A lot of the time, the older men, because I married somebody 14 years older than me, a lot of the time, the older men is for the image, if they do stay and get married, or it's for the convenience. That's usually what they do. It's like a grooming.
Yeah.
Just got to be careful with that because in their youth, why would they choose a woman that's closer to their age?
Six, you got a mute, bro.
That's another question to ask. Why wouldn't they choose a woman that's closer to their age? Because that's what I asked my ex-husband, who's 14 years older than me. Why not a woman closer to your age? Because you're not mature enough for a woman at your age. You don't have what you believe they should want in a relationship or expect for you to have at that age. So he didn't have the house. He didn't have, all he had was a
All right,
car, some
CD.
rims, the apartment, and I had a house. And because I was younger and understood people go through things and have a little bit more patience because I was younger, I accepted. Now, if I would have been in my 30s and I have a house and he's living in an apartment, I would still understand that based on circumstance. Maybe he's a person that loves to just stay by himself and maybe he likes that type of atmosphere. Or maybe he's saving for what he really wants. Or maybe he's cautious about his funds and maybe that place is cheaper for him to be able to save more. It all depends on that circumstance. But young, I just accept. Like, I don't know. But I'm not saying that's your man, girl. I'm not trying to discourage your relationship at all because I don't know it.
But she didn't even want it though. That's the part that's get me.
That's the scary part. It's like, no, I don't know anybody in their sound mind that if you're telling me you don't want a relationship, I'm not going to oblige that. I'm going to give you what you want because this world is free will.
Oh, there go Double
So,
D. But Bunny, oh, what you about to say, Bunny? Oh, what you finish, Jane? I don't even know if I
I've
cut through. My bad.
actually
yeah, I'm finished.
Okay.
that's a good point to make. I've actually spoke to older guys, older cousins of mine, older men. Oh, and I've asked that question before. First of all, sorry, brother, I had to drop because spouse was calling me. Uh,
Oh, that's good.
but yeah, I have spoke to them, and they said one at the time that they was looking. Could you stop, baby? At the time that they were looking at the age that they were looking for, because they have younger girls, at the age that they was looking for someone to be with. Okay, hold on a second. Didi, you can talk. My son got a lot going
No, you
on
just
right
too
quick.
young to be on my panel.
What? You know what?
Okay. So,
Where
ha-
you at, Papa?
so what had happened? So what had happened was we met at a conference, right? So I assumed that it was just gonna be like a what happens here stays here type of thing, like boom boom, and then that's it. I'm gonna go home. So
What's that
he was
again?
the first guy. The boom boom, like I just needed an ear scratch. So I hadn't been with anybody in 6 years. So I was like, you know what? Cool. This will be like, just quick 2 minutes, boom, open it back up and move on with my life. Like I thought I would never see him again. So we ended up going back to the room, doing what we had to do. And then I tried to sneak out, right? Because I was like, I'm done. I'm leaving. So he's like, where are you going? So then I realized that he wanted to do it again. I was like, oh shit, okay. So we ended up, exercising the whole weekend. Because the conference was for the whole weekend. And we exchanged numbers at the end of the weekend. Like, at the end of the weekend, we ended up exchanging numbers. And then he was just like, hey, that was really good. So, I'm going to be in your area. So we just kept going with it. And then I had told him in the beginning, I was like, yeah, listen, I'm a single mom. I got 2 teenage boys. I'm not expecting a relationship. I just want, I understand that dating a single mom is crazy. So I wasn't expecting anything. I was just like, cool. We're just going to, have fun for the weekend and just move on. And then we just kept talking and talking. And then, I don't know, we're together. It's 3.5 months. So we're together. So he does have, I don't know how much he makes, but I know he has money to maintain himself because I'm not asking him to pay my bills. So he's an ex-Navy veteran and he works for the government.
Is his name Lorenzo?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
She's like, girl, better not be my man. No. so, so
Nah,
I
this
don't
sound familiar.
I don't know. He lives in Orlando. Orlando. So we're like 4 hours apart too. So like by car. So what we end up doing is he flies me out or he'll come down to Miami and we've just been seeing each other like every other weekend for like 3 months. So it's still new. And I asked the same question. He doesn't get on TikTok, but I was like, I get on TikTok. So I told him, so according to TikTok, why would you stay with me if we did it the first night? Like, I don't understand. And he goes, because we're grown adults. And if there's something we want to do, it's something we're going to do. And you were honest. Like I had told him afterwards, I was like, I came to your room because I didn't know if I had you in my room, I was gonna be able to kick you out. But I figured in your room I could leave if I had to. So he's like, damn, that's messed up. I was like, well, whatever. I needed to protect myself. So, but before we ended up doing anything, I did ask. I was like, let me see your Med app. Open it up. All right, cool. He showed me. He's like, yeah, I just got tested like 2 months ago, and I haven't been with anybody in like a year. I was like, why would you get tested? He's like, because working for the government, we got to get like the whole panel done. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, I did it the first night and we ended up together. So I know that's crazy because that doesn't happen. And I asked him the same thing. I said, why would you pick somebody younger than you? And he goes, usually the older women don't have the energy that I need. He's like, I already have a son that's 30. I have a vasectomy. I'm not looking for any more kids or anything like that. Like, you got your kids and I got my son that's 30. So I'm good. But he's like, usually the older women, he's like, they'll go out once in a while, but they don't have the energy. They want to stay home. They want to watch TV. They don't want to go out. Like, they don't want to do anything. They just want to stay home. So I'm like, oh, okay. That's the story he told me. But no, if I had a daughter, I
I
wouldn't tell her to
had
give
a
it up the first night.
homegirl. That's
If I had a daughter, I
wild.
wouldn't tell her to give it up the first night. That's crazy. But it was good, so we just kept going.
Girl, the older women be going out. All my homegirls old and they be going out. Like they be going on the girls' trips at their age.
I don't know. Maybe it's the
On the
older women
real
in
girls'
Orlando or
trips.
something. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
here's
it
the
might just
thing
be the
about
women
women
he
our
dating.
age. A lot of women that's like, I'm 50. And what I'm hearing from guys that's my age or older, when they date women our age or older, is it becomes a pissing contest with some of them. And they have more energy to do the girl trips and all of that, but may not have that same energy to do them same things with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so wherever they go for a girls trip, he would have went too. A lot of men to go too. However, it wouldn't be fun to go with your man if you on some bullshit with your girls, though. So
Oh,
Right.
okay.
there are some women are not excited to go nowhere. Like you gonna go to Jamaica with your husband. You ain't trying to go to Jamaica with your husband. Not
Right.
Jamaica. You ain't trying to go there with your husband.
Right,
You
because
want
they
to go
Right.
missing the
there
vibe.
with your,
Yeah. See, but my
yeah.
thing is that I don't have a whole bunch of girls. Like I had maybe like 2 women that I talk to that I work with, but I'm not like I don't do the whole like girls trip. Well, I'm in Miami anyway, so it's not really that far we're gonna
Right,
go.
right, exactly. Like you would take your date to Miami. That's like taking a sandwich to a buffet. You would take your girlfriend to Vegas. You go to Vegas with your boys.
I,
Yeah.
I'm not
Then
gonna
when
lie,
you,
he gets mad at me when I say it, but I didn't think it was gonna be anything. I figure he's older, so I was like, cool, there's gonna be like a quick 2 minutes, boom boom, and we're done. He's like, that's messed up. You thought it was gonna be 2 minutes? I'm like, well, you're kind of old. So yeah, I thought it was gonna be like 2 minutes, like boop, boop, just open it, like open up the lid and keep going. I was like, break the seal and keep going. 6 years, just boop, boop, and then when I find somebody else, it's already open. But yeah, no, not 2 minutes.
Yeah, he liked you. You know why? You know why?
Why?
Cause you're
Because that was
honest.
easy.
Cause no, cause you're honest.
my best female friend, girls
If
No,
you
with
but
if
me.
you
I
if you
told him.
said
He
if
goes,
you
I
said
didn't believe you.
that way,
Yeah,
then he really because you're honest. Like, what's not attractive about somebody that's honest? And then he was feeling you anyway, and then you just popped out and said some honesty to him. Like, that's gonna be
yeah. Like
automatically
he
attractive.
asked. Yeah, I told him. He's
Man.
like, oh, do I go to your room? And I told him straight up. I said, I'm going to your room. He's like, why? I said, because if I need to kick you out, then I don't know if you're gonna leave. He's like, wait, why would you? He's like, why? What? Why would you kick me out? I said, I don't know. So then, like, when we were done, I was like, oh shit, this was not 2 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. Boom, boom. This was not 2 minutes. So I do have to say, I now
Six
know that
Paul, hold on
not
one
to
second,
sleep on the
sweetie.
older guys
Hold
because the
on.
older guys
Thank
have
you,
more
Six
energy than
Paul.
the younger ones.
Killing my ear.
Sorry. The
Can
older
y'all
men
hear?
do have more
Can y'all
energy
hear the
than the
noise
younger
right now?
ones.
No, it
Yes,
ain't
Miss
bad, but
Paul.
it just
We can
overpowers
still hear
her.
it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we couldn't hear like,
Yeah, but he got mad.
But
He's like, "That's messed up. You thought I was gonna be 2 minutes." I was like, "Well, you're kind of 52, so I wasn't expecting
Did
it to be
Bunny
that
talk
long."
yet?
no,
I wasn't
I'm
paying
back.
attention.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I had to get that little boy together. He had too much going on. No, but from what I've heard from older guys on why they have dated younger women is because I've heard because the older women are stuck in their ways. They've had years of either trauma or years of so much going on, and they just stuck in their ways. Whatever they believe, they believe. There's no change in that. I also heard they like the usefulness and the physical attributes of a woman's body. So far as like pretty much is more intact. When they get old and ran down, and plus, if they want to have kids, or I won't say ran down, Lord Jesus, that sounded terrible. I'm looking at my baby, watching him run, and I just said,
it's okay, sis. It's okay,
look,
cause yeah, gravity
my mama would have been
happens.
like, "Who you talking about?"
Gravity happens, sis. Look,
But no, that's Jen said that was
shit,
terrible. I'm sorry.
shit
My
starts
mom would have been like,
sagging. Nuh-uh.
what you
You
talking about?
good, girl.
No, but if you know what I mean, things start I know I ain't gonna look the same when I'm older, my body stuff gonna start hanging. Stuff gonna be a little different. The stomach ain't gonna snap back, it's gonna be a lot different when you get older. But my cousin was like, I'm just being real because he's 52, no, 42, I'm sorry, 42, and his girlfriend is actually 23. So his fiance now is actually 23. So
She got stuck on pause. Well, I mean,
huh?
either way, I'm big anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, not like I have
But
anything
yeah,
snapping back anyway.
those was just different things. He was like they're easier to lead. They let the man lead. They're you could teach them a little bit better. And then the women is like, look, I'm not. This is what I believe in, and this is what's gonna happen. Instead of you coming in and changing it up. So that's just what I've heard. So I don't know, but that's why
okay.
it's better to get with a man and stay with them before he gets old.
The young girls is not that you can teach them. They already on their own little path and it's not bothering you. That's all it is. They on their own little path and it's not in your way. It's actually cute to see them, do what they doing. They trying to do they come up. So it's not as tumultuous as an older woman who's still trying to come up. If you get me, it's different when you trying to help this woman your age still trying to bring a dream to fruition that she had when she was the chick age you fucking with. It's like damn,
Well,
at this age ain't nobody trying to be spending like you old like me, bitch. We ain't nobody trying to be spending a lot of money. You shit the hell.
But that's what I asked. I said,
I
like, do you
mean,
want somebody who's more established? Like, we get with older men because they're established. Most men reach
right,
their peak around 35. So we get with older men because they're more established. He was like, no, I don't care
right.
about her money. I don't care if she established or not. He said, I could care
Yeah, because at that point we
less.
established already. We already got like my wife. We already had a house, already had a car, already. We both already had a lot of things, which made the merger that much easier, and the maintenance wasn't is not bad. See, it's one thing when one person ain't got nothing, and then you got to bring them up and then you got to maintain all of that, what you brung up. But if both of y'all pretty much was doing a damn thing, at that point, you're maintaining something that she's already into, i.e., you might throw her something on the credit card bill of hers, you know what I'm saying? Or you might throw her something on her insurance on her car or some shit like that.
Right. Okay, but I have a question though. So for the guys that date much younger, and these are girls that are like 24 and 23 and 25, and they're much older than these girls, right? Why do that when you know that the ideas that they have will eventually change once they reach 30 and 35 and 40, and that may not be in the same direction as the spouse that they have? So you risk more being in that nursing home by yourself because your wife might leave you when you in your 70s and she's in her 40s. You know what I'm saying? Because our ideas change drastically throughout the years. And when you're not able to make a conscious decision at 23 and 24 and 25, you'll be able to make those conscious decisions later on. And she's going to feel like she's in her prime.
Well,
Like
that's
that
where
wouldn't
the
make any
rubber.
sense.
Now that's where the rubber meets the road. The average guy who deals with a woman like that understands well everything you just said, and they're prepared for it. Keep in mind, he been building. He knows one day. He knows one day. He ain't fooling himself. He knows one day. And for the most part of it, he got an ace in the hole. Most of them do. They already know that young girl is gonna come to fruition. It's just a ride that some men are willing to get off of with no problem.
I agree. I mean, my grandfather was, I think, 20 years older than my grandmother. And she stayed with him until his death. But like it has been said, because that's another thing I said. I said, well, what about when your stuff start working? He like, look, I ain't worried about that at that point. It's working right now. And it's probably gonna be working for me for about another 30 years. So it's fine with me. But I did bring that up about, you know what I mean, the energy and, you know, the bedroom activities. And he's like, that's like he said, like 6'4" said, that's something that they're willing to live with. But most likely, when a woman is in love with a man and that's the man she's in love with, that ain't always the case, especially if she's been with him for years. That's exactly what you get.
Exactly. You have those type of situations. You know what I'm saying? Well, I tell ladies when I was young, before I got married, a lot of my girlfriends were young. Well, not girlfriends, girls I was fucking with were younger, and I used to always tell them, "I'm a time out with you. You like me now." I said, "But as you grow, I'm going to get yucky," and I
Not
understand that.
yucky.
I understand that. I understand that.
Right.
I look
But
like a
you
nice
understand that
looking
though,
older
six
man
four.
now to you because I stay well groomed. You know, I got all the bells and whistles. I said, but as you get older, you're gonna still be younger. As I get older, I'm gonna get older. And you're gonna wanna look at someone around your age group. I'm not stupid.
Right.
I'm not fooling myself. So, you know,
But you ain't the majority.
don't you
You
get
ain't the
upset,
six
but
four.
see,
You ain't the majority.
here's where the girls mess up at. They believe that they believe that, well, if nothing works out for them, then they begin to hard press him. And he's getting away from that like, no, because you only doing this because ain't nobody fucking with you. Not that you really like this new older me. You know, you liked it to me that I was able to jump with you, and well, you know what? That shit is past. It may be because I'm losing interest for you like that, anticipation for you like that. You know, post nut clarity finally wearing off. You know, so now it might be an older chick might be my flavor. You know, a chick in my age group might be the order for me at that time. We both going to end up changing. I'm just as a man is being realistic about the change.
Oh, okay. That's felt. Kev, you alright? What you over there reading? What you over there
Nah,
boiling or
nah,
something?
nah. It was my bad. I was messing with her. I was in the
What you
trap
over there
line
doing?
messing with her. She got a
Oh,
good topic. But yeah, let me get back to mine. I'm on live. What I'm doing, man?
it be like that sometimes.
I wish that we had some people up here that could tell me about number two question. I want to hear from them on why they consider
Boy, yes
people
I
pick
do.
me's.
That
Because
would
I
be
need a
nice.
I know because I be wanting to know why I be considered a pick me. I told my spouse the other day that I was called a pick me, and he's like, "How?
Yep.
You already picked?" I said, "I know, I know."
They use it as a bad thing. I thought that was the whole goal. Have you have
You
any
know what?
family
I'm
in
gonna
Here's a
I'm
girl
gonna
mobile
who
I'm
ain't
gonna
been
and
try
picked
to.
yet. I would think a
you
pick
have
me
a
is a
twin?
girl who
Yeah,
ain't been
no.
married yet.
You said what, 6'4"?
I would thought a pick me is a girl who ain't been married yet. That's why she's a pick me, because she's waiting for someone to pick her.
That's what
Right.
that's exactly what the definition is. But they're just throwing it around all over TikTok
Yeah.
like willy-nilly. Like, I mean, if you treat your man like a leader, why are you consider a pick me? That make even that's contradicting right there. That mean I have a man. How am I trying to be picked? Evidently, you need to do what I'm doing so you can be picked. I mean,
Ooh. Don't hurt
Well,
their
I
feelings like
mean,
that.
sis, don't I mean we ain't call them pygmies or nothing like that, but that was the hater friends that when you married, you know what I'm saying, you still want to keep up with your friends and say, let me come over there, pick you up, let's go get something to eat right quick. And they sitting there hating the whole time, supposed to be your friend. Those
Mm-hmm.
are what those women are. Those are the and they
Right.
loud now. They
Fact.
loud.
yeah, yeah. But
I'm mad
you
at you
always
because
call them
you
and be
are
like, "Oh, you
starting
sprung."
right.
Mm.
Just do like I tell
Yeah,
my
you had
wife,
those
lie to
friends.
him. They women just
Yeah,
lie
you
to
had those
him.
friends.
Just lie to him like, girl, I be dogging my husband. Fuck him. Lie. Shit, they
She
I,
believe
gonna
you
say
it.
I'm
know
They
here for
what's
the
believe
so
pygmy
anything.
crazy?
schooling. I might
I
be
have a
lost.
friend. I have a friend that I was talking to the other day, and normally you're supposed to be able to talk to your girls and be like, "Girl, you know, I had to say it like this because my man be tripping and stuff, right?" Because we got into it about him saying when I'm passionate about something, I don't have that level of I'm first of all, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. I don't have that level of femininity at times when I'm real passionate about a conversation.
Uh-oh.
So I know,
What you
right?
talking about?
So the other day, I'm like, I called my spouse. I'm like, hey, babe, because I've had a
All right, Jane.
conversation with him. Okay, babe, Jane. I had a conversation with him, and he was like, babe, because which I think a lot of relationships need to do this because this is what counseling is for. It would save you money from therapy and counseling if you just talk to each other. But he was like, babe, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it sometimes. So I was like, okay. So I called him and I instead of being like, babe, the truck filthy, babe, because he uses the truck to go out of town and go to work, and then I use the other car. So I'm using the truck this one day so I can go grocery shopping. I'm like, babe, uh, instead of being like, baby, this truck real filthy, I need you to clean it out or whatever. I was like, babe, you mind coming downstairs and helping me clean out the truck real quick? I'm trying to put BJ in a car and, there's a few things on the seat. And he was like, okay, baby, I'm coming right down. So I'm like, so I get on the phone. I'm like, girl, yeah, I had to say it to my man nicely because I ain't want him tripping on me because I told her about the previous conversation. She's like, why do you have to talk to him like a 10-year-old? That's not talking to him like he's a 10-year-old. That's talking to him with some respect. And like for you to think that I'm talking to my man, like, why you have to say it like that? That was a problem for me for her to say that. Like, well, what way do you talk to your man is what I wanted to ask her, but then I remember she ain't got a man. So it's just wild to me when you tell people like, yeah, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to do this. It's like, oh, you're changing for that man. First of all, bitch, if you get the man I got, you better change for that man.
Right. Somebody
But
said it.
that's
Let's
for
talk
another day.
about it. Somebody said that though. I think I was listening to Fresh and Fit. He was saying if a woman changed for a man, it's usually best for the family. If a man changed for a woman, uh, she usually don't like the outcome anyways. She don't usually like. I forgot how it is. He worded it different though, but it's a whole other thing. Basically, she ended up becoming a leader in a way, and a lot of women don't want to be a leader. They act like it, but they get, I don't know. It'd be weird. That's why you can't really. I want to put it that way. You can't listen to a lot of women. You just can't listen to it because they really don't know what they want. I mean, they already can't pick their own food already. But I'm just saying in general, it's just like it'd be a lot. It's like this new thing with the other side, right? It's like you try to, it's like you try to understand what's going on, but it's like their stuff is not. It could change. Like when your stuff can change off of feelings, that's the hardest thing you can ever do. That means you got to really mold to every last. That's hard. That's one of the hardest things. I see why they made. I mean, why they make it. Why you gotta. I don't want to say nothing wrong, but I don't want to say the wrong thing. The room jumped to 300. But it's just crazy, though, man.
But that's the thing. You should change for your spouse. Everybody you're gonna love is different.
Oops.
Everybody needs to be loved different. You're gonna have to love everyone different. What worked for the old person is not may not work for this person, and 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna work for this person. So first of all, over years of being together, you're gonna change anyways. Because I'm completely a 360 than what I used to be 6 years ago before I met him. So you're going to have changes, and then you're going to make those changes that's better for your relationship if you want your relationship to be good. You don't want to change in a completely opposite direction or stay stagnant as the person you was, because keep in mind, we also met in our 20s. So the childish ways that we might have had in our 20s, we're in our 30s now. You better not have those childish ways no more. It makes no sense. So you're going to have to grow, or that person's going to outgrow you. And people think that's not real, but that is a real serious thing. People outgrow each other. So if this person like, babe, what worked for me 6 years ago ain't working for me now. Yeah, I used to let you talk crazy and just leave. Now I
Right.
don't have time to leave. We're grown, we're adults. We need to get this together because we're going to be together forever. And either we're going to be upset and be miserable for the rest of our lives, or we're going to get this together so that we can be happy. And I can tell you right now, the change that we have made as a unit, as a whole, individually, have made our relationship way better. There's no more going to sleep with an attitude. There's no more us having pointless arguments. There's none of that. And when you're truly happy, of course, you're going to sit there and be like, hecky, no, I'm not going to go back to my old ways. But,
Right.
you know, I don't know. And if a man ain't the leader of my home, ain't no point in him being in my home. I'm just going to tell you just like that.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're young.
Oh, that was pissing me off over there. Hey, you see, I get in the comment
That's why I
like,
keep messing.
every single time you say something to disagree with they behinds, what's your age? Why
That
does that
junk
matter?
annoying, bro. I mean, not bro like that, but it's just annoying.
Nah, like, boy, you break an
That junk
arm, you gonna
annoying.
be walking around
That's
with a
why I had to
broken
put it on
arm.
spot. Like, man, that's gonna be your go-to every time you can't understand what I'm saying. That junk be annoying. It's like you basically trying to make it seem like I'm. It make you try to. I don't know if they know what they doing though, but they make it seem like another person is not smart or something like that. I'm put it that way. It's like, why I gotta talk like you, right? To be, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to talk like you, but I know the deal. Like I said, I know people more than they think I know, you know, and I know more than what a lot of people think I know and stuff. That's why I let people stay in their ways. Some people just on this situation just to look to teach. They don't want to learn. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people got biases. You know, I'm fully aware of the whole situation. Only reason why I did what I did, and I went in them comments and started trolling Miss. That's like, cause I get her mad all the time, and I was trolling her. I don't care. Cause it's like they gotta notice what they doing, man. Y'all, just because these want to come with this gen stuff and all this other whatever, man, that don't, you know, we ain't gonna never listen to one another if you want to keep putting somebody in a box. So if you ain't listening to me, well, I'm not about to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to talk to no brick wall. You see what I'm saying?
And
That's
that's
why
my
that
thing.
little, huh?
Go up there. I said go up there. I'm talking to my son and you at the same time. Go ahead, brother. I ain't good at
But
this
yeah.
multitasking thing. But that's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. I'm up there to learn from them. You know, I'm up
Right.
there to learn from the older generation, because the woman that I am now is because I got all my advice and all of this knowledge from the older generation. Like, don't come for me because I'm younger, because I definitely have an old person living in my body. Trust me when I tell you. The knowledge that I have, the way I was raised, I definitely have an older person in my body now. Do I have a mind of my own, and am I going to think different? Yes, every human is going to think different. All of us not going to
Every
agree, but that's the type of conversation you want to have. I don't want to be around people that don't only agree with me, because I'm not going to gain any knowledge from that. So I want to be surrounded around people that
I
think
think Jen
different
was
than
in
I
there
think.
too. Yeah. I think Jen was in there too. But yeah. That's why I was trolling the mess out of her too, because I know I get her mad when I talk about that though. But shoot. I can't keep letting her say all this stuff and thinking that she do that. That's one of her bad things. I got on her when she was on my live about. She said, "You keep coming after me." She thinking all that cussing and all that stuff supposed to mean something. I don't care about that. You got to fix some stuff within yourself. Since you supposed to be so called one of our leaders and stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be thinking that they got it all together because of your age. That don't mean nothing. I think I had a live about that stuff too. I don't know why people be thinking that. We gotta hear each other out. No, just because you experienced all this stuff, that don't make the next person know. Just because you was young and dumb, that don't make me young and dumb because you was. You know what I'm saying? People don't be realizing that.
Exactly.
A lot of people advance. A lot of people learn different ways. You probably would. We was on different. We probably was on way different levels. But like I said, I'm the type, I ain't got to prove myself. Once you put me in this box and you got the way you think about other people, I can see it. That's why I say I come to understand other people just so I can know who I'm talking to. If another person, it's no different how I'm going to start treating the other people that ain't trying to, you're not trying to, come with some type of understanding or trying to at least exchange some type of information within each other or learn or anything, you know what I'm saying? If you got this one track mind and thinking that you always right, I'm not about to talk to no person like that. It's just pointless. That's a person that only want to be heard all the time and don't want to, I'm not about to do that. That's gonna be crazy. That's why I say I come in different lives just to learn from different things or whatever. Because I know everybody got either they biases, they got they mind made up and all that stuff. So it is what it is. I know what I came on this app for, so it is what it is.
Oh, because matter of fact, even 6'4", was that you that asked about
Yeah, he was in there too.
about eating the groceries or something this morning? I mean earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
was.
crazy to me that people who sit there and act like they ain't never. First of all, first of all, by a certain amount of time, some people have done all type of unimaginable things in their relationship. Especially if you want it to be spicy. That's the reason why people going out here cheating now. Not saying I need my groceries ate, but
I ain't doing all that.
not saying
I
I
ain't
need
doing
that
it.
done. But stop doing that. I said take it in the other room, baby.
Yeah, but that's why I mentioned that before I dropped down and stuff. I'm like, dog, because I'm like, I don't care what they talking about though. They ain't got nothing to do with. That's just me looking in fairness and stuff. That jug is wild. Nobody ego. That's just not like I said with that body count thing, right? I talk about it. That body count thing. My situation, why it mattered to me, is more of a behavior pattern and it's a characteristic and all that stuff. It ain't because of my ego and stuff. So when it comes to the point where we talking about, oh dang. Oh, I just found that out. After you done found a wife of your life, you finding out something late. That's I don't care. I'm standing 10 toes on that situation. That's the dumbest thing ever. Just because you found out a number after you done that's why I was being funny. I'm like, after you done ate it and all this other stuff or whatever, is it a little too late now that you got the number now? That's a little crazy. Now you done had five kids down and all this stuff, and now you just found out about that situation. That's crazy. That's the wildest thing. And nobody gonna change my mind about that. Now I can see if it was before that, right? Of course, and I know how to affect your mind. So of course I ain't gonna say it don't affect my mind after I hear something. Like it's all, I would rather not hear it, right? But it is gonna affect the mind. But then just to split up, you know what I'm saying? When I know I got me a solid woman for 20 years, I'm always keep saying that. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no. That's why I say everybody playing this role, but I bet you them the same dudes that's married, putting their head in their women lap and all this stuff and all that. And then, you know what I'm saying? You're not about to play me. You can sound tough or whatever, or I stand on whatever for TikTok, but you're going to be kissing that butt when you get back home. So quit it. I'm not, like I said, everybody can sound like what they want to sound like, but making logical sense, that stuff make no sense at all. Oh, I just found out, so now I'm going to split up and forget my kids and all that. Now I'm going to split up because I just found out about your mama. That sounds silly, bro. Whatever.
6'4", what was your stance on that about? Did you say you would leave her after 20 years?
I think a few of them said that. I was the only one that didn't say I
Then
was
if
going to leave.
we was watching and she told me that body count after that, I get one good last run in
He
and
said, I
everything
remember that,
be
right?
set.
Oh, man. That's funny.
I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, when it come down to a man, I can understand. I mean, it's crazy to me because, like I said, you giving up half of what you own. Somebody else said I can make that half back. Not if you paying her. I mean, still, she'll be living nice and comfortable and going with body number 94 that she gonna be like, all right, and I ain't gonna tell him because the last man left me.
She ain't
And she
gonna
gonna be
never
living
tell it.
happily ever after. Right now, she ain't gonna never tell it again, no
Mm-hmm.
matter how much he trusts him. But to be like, okay, I'm gonna pay her all of this money for many, many years. It's like that's something that I'm sure I want to ask my daddy, but my daddy probably don't want me to ask him that. But like, daddy, my mama told you this. But
All of
yeah,
them act like
I
they
mean,
married virgins though.
don't get me started with the whole don't get me started with people trying to act like they perfect. But I definitely think it'd be different for men than it is for women because men mind just runs different. I think you guys wouldn't be able to live with that. Now all of a sudden I can't go anywhere. Now all of a sudden there's no more girl trips. Now you blowing up my phone because I was at the grocery store for 2 hours. I just and I don't want that. I would be miserable. I would want you to rather I would rather you leave me.
It's a confidence thing, man. It's all about knowing who you with. That's the thing, and a lot of people don't know that because they don't know themselves. That'd be the problem. You know, once you know yourself and know who you with, you can see all that. You ain't gotta. That's when the insecurity don't have to worry about that stuff for real. You know, it's funny because I usually be on that team, but when they put it in that way, I can understand some situations. Overall, it still matter to me, no matter how you want to look at it. It still matter because it's gonna matter enough that it is gonna affect my ego in some type of way, still though. But like I said, it matter more about the behavior behind it and the traits and the characteristics and stuff. That's the main thing that be behind it though. But it's just
What you
funny. It
say?
made me realize, huh?
No, go ahead. No, y'all was I heard both of y'all talking at the same time on my Bluetooth. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh, oh no, I was just saying, but it's just funny to me because I just realized that even when he said, what you call it, like, oh, he got somebody that's giving these 304s a chance. I'm like, bro, nah, I guess we do. Everybody do got their own definition of that now. Because that's just crazy. So that sounds like a subjective thing. Because you could say that somebody got three bodies and stay there at 304. Then if that's the case, I guess it's a subjective thing. That's how you feel. But my whole point is, because it ain't like I'm gonna be looking for no girl with no 97 bodies. That's some wild stuff. The thing is if you just find out after 20 years, that's some wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna stop a good, happily family because they got 97 bodies. That's crazy though. They know that, and that's why I be saying a lot of people are driven by their ego. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I try to put it aside. Now, if I found out it before, that probably wouldn't even work. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't kind of trust that. But if you like 20 years in, that means you for sure know who you with. That's a whole different thing. Otherwise, you faking it. Like, dang, I had to find out now. Okay, I don't want it for
There's a
real now.
chance of her there's a chance of her doubling back, man. This I know a girl, right?
That's insecurity.
And she had man, this girl was not, I used to always compliment her on how good she was doing. I'd be like, look, you ain't got no kids, you doing a damn thing, her sister's getting pregnant and having babies and shit, and she still ain't got no kid. I'm like, hell yeah,
All
you
right,
gonna be all
wisdom.
right. Everything gonna be all right. So some years passed and then I seen her and she was pregnant. And I was like, what happened? Who is he? You get married? He said, no, I ain't getting married. And I was like, well, what happened? You was on such a good streak. So she explained to me that it was a guy she went to school with. And this is why she fucked him. Because she knew who he was. They was at a party. All the other girls was fucking with somebody and she ain't had nobody to fuck with. But since she knew him and used to fuck with him in high school, that was her reason for giving him some pussy that night. So she wouldn't be the only girl who wasn't getting no dick.
That is wow.
That's what she
I would
said.
have went to bed. I would have went to bed alone. And that's another thing that you guys was talking about earlier before my spouse called about the certain things being stress relievers and all the rest of that. I think it's discipline. It's discipline comes in regardless. Discipline is before you get in a relationship. Discipline is while you're growing up. Discipline is while you're in a relationship. You need to always have discipline. Period. My spouse is
Yeah.
gone 4 to 5 days out of the week sometimes.
Hmm.
And So who, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's a stress reliever for me, I'm stressed for 4 or 5 days if need
Can
be.
he
You know
pop?
what I'm saying? Like it's discipline that you need to have regardless. And if you don't have that discipline, that says a lot about you. I definitely think that if she didn't have that discipline, it's something that she's having to teach herself now to have if you get with somebody that has all of them dang on bodies. Because, or I mean, I definitely think that she might backslide. I ain't gonna lie to you. 92 bodies, you got a problem. Like
But
that's a
backsliding after
problem.
20 years though, that's the thing.
I mean, she may have backslided and got away with it. I'm trying to
That's
tell
what I'm
man,
getting to
women
about
made the
that.
game up.
Yeah.
Women made
And,
this game. That's why more
yeah, I
men
feel
get
you.
caught cheating than women get caught. So she
Hmm.
could have, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, my spouse gone 5 days. If I
So I
some of
wonder
that
how many
nature.
bodies do it take for a woman to backslide? What do you think the cap out is at? Past 3 bodies, past 5, past 10.
I think it depends on how long, how many years she might have had that happen. But I think EXO was about to
So,
answer that as well.
mhm.
Are we talking while we're married or just in general?
Well, I think the topic, well, what they did before, they were saying that, well, it was really for the men though, but they was basically saying that, if you have like 90 something bodies, that it still got a high chance of back. But that's after you've been with a person for 20 years of marriage, and then you just found out that she had 97 bodies or something like that. So I guess they said they can backtrack. I don't know, something like that because of many bodies.
Well, I'm stuck on how you stuck with somebody for 20 years and don't know that they had 90 something bodies.
That's what I'm getting to.
What
Right?
were you
No
Or
signs
talking
or
about
nothing.
during the whole marriage? Because there's no way. Yeah, that's a little far fetched for me to believe, but I can't like that is crazy that you're with someone for 20. To me, that means that there was no communication prior to the marriage, and there's definitely no communication during the marriage.
Hmm. I was
and
thinking, what
why
about
after
this?
20
Say if
years?
they did like 90 something bodies, right? Was or how we could say that was. That's a lot to say before 20. All right, whatever. Let me put it this way: 97 bodies at 20, 25, right? But you meet her at 35 and she been celibate that whole entire time though. Like, would that make a difference? Yes, I gotta make it.
She had 90 something bodies before she was like 21 or 22, and then all of a sudden she turned celibate. Yeah. So, to me, I would think that there's something wrong with her mentally because for me, I wouldn't be able to be with a woman like that or a man. In the end, nothing about you says that you have any type of self control.
Self control, right? Exactly. But then cancel it with the 10 years of no sex. That'd be. That's why I say I wonder how that'd be. I think men Eagles so high they still would take it. I mean, they still wouldn't take it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
What you holding out for? You already laid it down 94 times. So what are
but
you
she
I'm
holding
not
out
probably
about to
for?
play with you.
I'm just saying, like, that's what I don't understand. As a woman, you know how some women are out here,
so.
they like to play that game, because it is a
I feel
game.
you.
They're like,
I
oh,
feel you.
I've been with this man and that man. I got 10 bodies, 12 buddies, and all of a sudden you want to become a halfway nun. It's like, girl, you ain't under construction. Your shit is already, what I'm saying, in the dirt. Like, you might as well just really, like they say, get it out the mud and keep on pushing. So at the end of the day, it don't even matter what you do. You could be celibate for 5 years. You can be celibate for 30 seconds. You already turned and burned that thing. Just keep on pushing. He's either going to accept you one way
So
or
you said they should just stay out for the streets after this
just
is
keep doing
over?
what you're doing. Nothing about you says anything that you had any type of self control or any type of respect
Yeah.
for yourself, like any of that. Now all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you want to have a whole 360 and change your life.
You don't you don't believe in change?
Not like that. I mean, she was
I
halfway
literally said
there.
she be celibate for the 10 years after doing that because she realized and opened up and changed her life and realized that She been making mistakes, I guess. Put it in
What
that way.
celibate got to
So
do with
she,
it though? Why are you
huh?
punishing the man?
You said what?
What celibate have to do with it?
It's for celibate is for like the behavior change. Same thing I did. So I had 15 bodies. I've been celibate for the last 3 years or something like that. That don't mean, what I'm saying? That don't mean that, because I realized that it wasn't doing nothing for me, right? So even though a couple of them was a relationship or one was a relationship, but still, my thing is that don't mean that I had to be stuck the same person. I really believe it's people could change. Everybody can literally change though. You got to really want it. That's basically saying that once somebody becomes something, they ain't have no other way to become something else.
I'm just saying, when you done laid it down 94 times, you might as well just keep on going, girl. And I'm
Yeah,
not saying lay it down another 94 times, but it ain't at this point in time. There's no reason for you to be celibate. Just lock it up until you find the right man.
you do it for yourself though. It ain't for everybody
Bro,
else's
we know what she
image.
did for herself 94 times. It's the same thing. That's crazy.
Hey,
Mm.
host, how you doing?
Yo, what's the deal?
This is what it is, right? And speaking on the 94 times or whatnot, she said put it on ice. So basically, if you put it on ice, that's celibacy, right? How
Right.
everybody else on the panel.
Hmm.
So we just gonna keep it a buck. See, like you said earlier, you said I had a couple bodies and I see it wasn't doing nothing for me. I changed, right? See, there's certain things that push us to these different points, right? No one have to go to prison in order to realize they shouldn't be in prison. But some
Right.
people still bump their heads and go to prison. Some
Hmm.
people don't have to have 94 bodies to know that, hey, listen, I'm out here being a little crazy with it. Some people don't have to have 15 bodies to understand that, hey, listen, I'm a little loose with it, right?
Right.
What's happening is that people are being influenced by different things that's beyond the physical. And I know y'all
Right.
may say, oh, you want the religion, spiritual. No, no, no. Think about it. I want y'all to think about it. A person that do something treacherous or someone that does something like a mass shooting or something like that, that's not normal, right?
Right.
It's not normal. So for someone to be here and say, hey, listen, I am I'm out here exploring, I'm out here doing all these things, but I'm never being fulfilled. You're influenced by something else. So that means that you have a lack of self-control, because if you were in control, you would stop it, because there's a lot of wet pillows at night. And people don't want to talk about the wet pillows. A lot of people don't want to talk about the stress and the agony and the pain and the suffering that they go through when they put themselves in these situations. And then um, just imagine this for a second. I'm gonna drop, right. I mean, I'll not drop, but I'll fall back. I'll land my plane. Just imagine this. You're doing really good in school. You make it straight A's, some B's, whatnot. You're going on to college. You find out, you meet this wonderful woman or wonderful man, whatever. Boom, y'all get together, y'all start talking, whatever, whatever. Y'all both still B's. Y'all never experienced anything. Ooh, y'all like each other. Y'all get to know each other. Y'all thought that y'all learned enough from y'all peers and family that, hey, listen, when you have butterflies and all that, y'all get intimate. Boom, y'all get intimate. Then the possession or the reality of, wow, this person was amazing. I want this person all to myself. And the next thing you know, you experience jealousy for the first time, like real jealousy. I'm talking about like jealousy, like you belong to me. And then y'all break up. And then you have to find yourself finding someone else after this woman or this man have given you something that you thought was special because of what your friends and family told you, right? Boom. And then that doesn't work out. And then it goes again, 6 months, and then it goes again, 3 months, then it goes again, 2 months. So the healing process never worked because you didn't get it through the healing process. Then the emotional attachment didn't work because the person that you was interested in, male or female, did not work. Then what you heard everyone else tell you about all the butterflies and all the wonderful things and birds and the bees and everything, it goes against what they believe. What happens is a lot of times we get with people that don't have the same values or morals, right? So when you don't have people that have the same values and morals, you find yourself in a position of being, I would say, a victim. I'm gonna say why I say a victim, and I'm gonna land right here. The reason why I say a victim is because you assume what the other people was telling you about love and all that kind of stuff was true, and that's not what love is. Love is
Mm-hmm.
not going around from different people. Love is saying, hey, I like you, you like me. What are we going to do to build something? And that's the thing that people don't talk about when they say, hey, I'm in love with this person. You say, why are you in love with this person? Oh, because that person got a strong mind, strong will. They want to build. They want to leave a legacy. They want to leave an inheritance. They want life insurance. They want dental insurance. A lot of these things are not being talked about. You know why they're not being talked about? Because people fear these things because it's like, oh, if you got life insurance, that means, hey, if you get out of line, your partner may unalive you, right? If you got dental insurance, that means that, oh, now I got to go to the dentist and I don't want to go through that pain and suffering of getting my teeth cleaned. Like a lot of these different things, it requires discipline, structure, and obedience. And a lot of people don't want to face that because society and their friends and the other people say, you ain't got to do all that. Just do the bare minimum. And then they at the end game wind up losing, and then they go on these what they call fiascos or these um, uh, 3 or 4 phases, and then when they get a little older, they start realizing, oh, that wasn't the game. They was lying to me because they wasn't happy because they didn't deal with their issues or their problems. I land my plane on that.
Mm. Man, y'all got me about. I want to ask that question though, but yeah, that is. Mm. I don't know. I do believe. I don't know. Well, old girl, she had dropped though, but I don't know. I think different, man. I do believe you got to pay attention to like traits and characteristics, right? But I don't think. I think the reason why people because they really just don't know. That's what it is. I can understand it though. And when you literally in an insecure type relationship where you're scared on different things, I can get it's a safety type thing though. But I look at it like that's the reason why I prioritize peace over everything. So if my girl giving me peace and all this stuff, I'm just hoping it don't be like that. I'm gonna say y'all that same scenario right with the 97 bodies. If I'm getting all this stuff or whatever, and I have no signs of some BS, and I can see there's this full change switch over from her life or whatever the lifestyle, because I don't have no signs of it, right? I just like I said, I can't sit there and just after I've been with her for 20 years, then she I somehow found out that she had that many bodies. I can't. I'm not about to split up a whole family because that's the risk I took. So I should have had asked that at the beginning if that was the case, right? But it's just crazy to me because like it's all about the most important thing that's happening in there. It ain't about and like I said, it's that the ego thing or whatever, and this other stuff we be trying to add to it, I guess, whatever. But
I totally agree. Yes, people can change. People
people
can
can
change.
change. Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. But
Yep.
you, but I don't know what city you live in, but I live in
I'm in
Atlanta.
Detroit.
Okay, you in Detroit. Uh, I forgot what interstate go through there. I thought it was 25, but it's not 25. Um, I know the 70 and all that, and 80 and 90 is all up that way. But what I'm saying is that yes, people can change, right? But this is the thing: they have to be changing for a better cause. So
Facts.
you have to always change. If you have one addiction, and say if your addiction is just say hypothetically, your addiction is um methamphetamine, right? And you change your addiction from methamphetamine to going to church. I'm just using these two. I know they're extreme, but just hear me out. You got methamphetamine, and then you say, "Hey, I'm no longer doing drugs. I'm going to go on over and serve a creator God. I got a religion now." If you change those things, the objective is you have to understand that that person is still an addict, but they have changed from that way because they're not trying to go back that way. But there's things that possibly could trigger them to go back that way. And I'm just going to say it in this way so other people understand. I live in Atlanta. You have the 285, you have the 20, you have the 75 and the 85 that run through this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I have more trouble, if I have more trouble on the 75 to get down to uh southern Georgia, and the 20 takes me away from where I'm trying to go, and the 85 takes me away from where I go, but the 285 takes me a shorter route. Then what I need to do is I say, okay, I need to change what I'm doing in order to get to what the destination where I'm trying to go. And a lot of people don't want to do that because, like I said, influence, what people heard, their peers, all that, tell them,
Yep.
hey, listen, you ain't got to do all that. And it's like, no, you should encourage me to say, hey, if that's what it takes for you to get right, do that. And what people don't
Facts.
do, they say, no, 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 you ain't got to do all that. So, yes, whether a man has a 94 body count or a woman has a 94 body count, the same are have been exposed to 94 people. At
Right.
the end of the day, if I find a woman and she tells me, all I ask is, don't lie to me. So at the end of the day, if I tell you I had 200 bodies and you tell me I had 94, okay, cool. We are at least being honest. That's the first thing that we got to do, be honest.
Right.
If you tell me, no, I had 10 and then I find out you had 94, then that's a
Right.
problem.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's a
Right.
whole other thing. So now you're being accepted and then you're lying because you felt like body count was an issue. Same way for me. If I told her I only had 4 and come to find out I had 94, I lied to her and I was accepting her. But see, this is the thing. This is the playing field that's even for everyone. At the end of the day, once you come to your realization, your awakening moment, what is your goal and what is your purpose and what is your vision after that? People don't ask these questions. And then on top of that, they don't ask these questions. Hey, listen, I had these type of bodies, 94 bodies. I went and got tested. I did all these things. Are you willing to do the same thing before we get intimate? And a lot of people don't do that because it scares them away because a lot of them know that they are not safe. So, with that being said, everyone is responsible for their actions to a certain age, but people have been lied to, people have been discriminated on, people have been taken advantage of, and different things like that. And then what happens is they wind up sobering up, so to speak, whether it's just being in the epiphany or a wide awakening, a rude awakening. And then they say, you know what? I don't want to live this lifestyle no more. I want to do right for my community. I want to do right by the people that I deal with. They start going on that path and that journey, and then they find someone that really isn't on the same mindset as them, and then they go to question them, and then when they question them, it sounds good, so then they give themselves over to them, and they're like, ah, gotcha, B. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, dang, here we go again. So that's why I said you have to watch people, their actions, their motives, their intentions, and whether you have 94 bodies or not, you should be able to put it on ice and be able to say, hey, listen, let's get to know each other for a couple of months. Regardless if I have 2 or 3 kids, whether you have 2 or 3 kids, if we really want to be together and I really want to get to know you, I'm willing to wait and I'm willing to do the necessary things like doctor visits, dental hygienists, all that kind of stuff to make sure you are responsible, to make sure that you do care, and to make sure that you do understand the importance of our relationship. I learned.
Mm.
Can
Go
I?
ahead. I think Coach was trying. Oh, what you saying?
No, no. I mean, I'll go in whatever order you have, bro.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, he had came in real quick. Yeah.
All
What's
right.
the
So
deal, Coach, man?
what's going on, Kev? My first time up here, man.
Oh yeah.
Why can't men have boundaries without some women getting angry? That was smart that you put some to avoid a bunch of
You
bullshit.
right. Yeah, I've not already felt like you know what, let me get it up. And big words too to make sure they see it.
Right. To answer that, it's simple. It's because those women can't measure up to those boundaries or standards, right? They got
Ooh.
comfortable dealing with a specific caliber of man, right? Because of the way we carry ourselves, a lot of women don't understand the way they carry themselves, even for men. The way we carry ourselves, the way we move, the way we operate, the way we talk, our value systems, our ethics, our morals, or lack of, attracts a certain type of people towards us. So what happens is when you out here with this 304 behavior, you're attracting a certain caliber of man who doesn't necessarily have these types of boundaries or standards because he himself doesn't care. So now that you've been doing you for so long, and now that men are more vocalized about what it is, right? Men of character, men of substance, men of value are speaking about what types of women they want to deal with and the qualities that woman has to have. A lot of these women are realizing they don't qualify for a good man, and it's a culture shock. It's like the Negro wake up call, right? But it's access denied wake up call. That's what it really is. So they get upset
Hold
about
on,
that.
hold on, Coach. I just want to say this. If that's listen, I'm not being a devil advocate or anything like that. But when you say that, when you add this part, you attract the people that you are. When they say you attract what you are,
Yeah.
if if the men are who they are, they should attract the good women, and that's not happening. So what's happening is these good men are attracting, well, I mean, women.
See,
So
that's
same
the
way the good women are attracting bummy men. So what's happening is, I think that a lot of lust is involved, and men and women are good men and good women. I'm gonna make sure just make this good distinction. Good men and good women, due to lust, are attracting bummy men and bummy women. Is that fair to say?
nah, because if you have your
They
morals
wouldn't be
aligned.
complaining about the women and men if they
Yeah,
if
if you
they
have,
were.
but look, if you have your moral compass, you got values, you got standards, you're not gonna waste your time dealing with those types of women. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to go run through a bunch of 304s. If those are the only options available, I'm gonna just still stand on my square and stand on my values, and just
I think
wait.
I
No,
I think I get what y'all
that's
talking
not
about
what I'm
though.
saying.
Y'all talking about
That's
two
not what
different
I'm saying.
things, right? So I think he just talking about the attraction overall. So of course they're gonna probably step in, but you only accept, right? You accept the type of women because you have the boundaries and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you can't help who you going I mean who attracted to you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I know he try to mix that in with the attract who you are and all that stuff, but for some cases, I mean for most of the cases I guess I get it. Like no, that ain't always true because I've had people that I'm really don't like or something, you know what I'm saying, that be attracted to me or something like that. But then again, it's all about who you pick. You know what I'm saying? So
I
if
agree.
by by dudes having standards and boundaries and all that stuff, you end up being who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the thing is, right, is like if you got access to different types of women, like you're gonna have access to good women, you're gonna have access to bad women.
Right.
It's pretty much like whichever one you choose at that point. But if you don't have access to any good woman, then the self reflection needs to come
Facts.
into play. Like, okay, do I need to
I
step up
agree.
my
I agree with that.
finances?
Yes, sir.
Do
Yes,
I
sir. I
need to
agree.
get my hair cut more? Do I need to change the way I dress? That's when we should start looking at that if all we can attract is this particular type of woman. To
Hmm.
go to the next question, why are women that want to treat their men like a leader considered pygmies? And it's the same thing with the first question. Those women don't qualify to have a man be their leader. So they don't qualify to get the type of man that possesses the leadership qualities the so-called pygmy woman has. So they're upset about it and they're bitter because they're realizing I don't have those qualities, so I'm less than. They take it personal and they internalize it, so then they lash out. That's what that is. So to me, when women call other women pick me's, that should be a term of endearment. Honestly, like if a woman's calling you a pick me, that means that you probably healed and you know how to properly love your man, and your man properly is loving you.
Mm.
And the woman calling you a pick me
I
to
He
say,
who I
so
had a coach
I
a
never
while
understood
ago.
that either. I
and
I
yeah,
never understood why they say that about being a pick me. You should want
And
to
he
be
broke
picked.
it down. That was good though for
If
sure.
you're the best of the best, you should want to be picked. Like
yeah.
hands
Why
down.
wouldn't you want to be
Now,
picked by
even
somebody
if
who's
even
gonna
if
love
you
you?
was the 304, listen, even if you was the 304, right? 304, and you changed up, eating better, got healthy, did your things, did whatever you needed to do. You started being a better quality woman, whatever, and you put it on ice. I always say put it on ice, whether it's man or woman, and You did what you needed to do to put yourself in a better position, and you got picked. Listen, who want the runt of the litter? Most people don't even pick the runt of the litter.
Right.
Who wants the down bad shivery type? No woman wants that. Who wants to go into a space and they see everyone is picking Idris Elba? I'm just going to use Idris Elba because they talk about Idris Elba a lot, right? So if you had to pick between Idris Elba and some other dude that just came on the scene, most women
Michael
pick
Sarah.
Idris Elba. Okay, I don't know who that is, but I'm just saying. At the end of the day, they know this, right? This is the mind-boggling part. It's like if you put them in a corner and you tell them, "Hey, listen, this is what it is," and they say, "Yes, it is what it is," but I'm not gonna tell you that because if I tell you that, you got me in a corner, you got me pinned down. It's the reality. But if you tell me I gotta work for it, why I gotta work for it? But the men gotta work for it. That's crazy.
Yeah, we had to work for it before you even became initially attracted to us. Right? We had to put in effort to look handsome, to get in the gym, to get in shape, to work on our finances. We had to build ourselves up before that initial attraction, right? Before they gave us access to them, before they even consider us. And if they didn't, then they just have no standards and no values, no morals, nothing. They just accept anything that they can get, which is a sign of a low caliber woman. But somebody asked a question: do men feel any need or drive to be kind to a lost woman and show her what she's never been shown? So I'm gonna say for most men who are on their purpose, who are trying to build something, no, it's a waste of time. Why gamble on a woman who's lost when there's no guarantee that she's gonna be found? It's a waste of time and resources.
Facts.
It's the same way with women. I wouldn't recommend women go find a dude on a corner slinging dope to try to work with him to get him to see something he's never been shown, because you're going to end up incurring a lot of trauma because you're not a therapist. You're not going to be able to heal those wounds. That person has to do that on their own. You can't save anybody.
That's a
Oh,
problem. That's
so
that
hold
problem
on.
right there, because that's the people that be trying to change people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be doing that stuff. I would never recommend that. Even that's like something recently I've been overall, right? Because even with some of my talking points or whatever, it be people that just don't want to understand. And I realize that I'm draining energy with trying to help some people that's not even looking to be helped. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I've had a low tolerance since this last couple weeks now, because I have been the type that been trying to help, a lot of people in the stuff, and then going back and forth with it. So I got to a point that, you know what, if it seems like you ain't listening to me, or you're not trying to understand, or you keep wanting to have pushback, I'm not about to keep going back and forth with you all day or whatever, or trying to mold you into whatever, because you're going to be you at the end. And maybe my message ain't meant for you at the moment. I'm going to just wait till you go to somebody else. Or I mean, not wait till you go to somebody else, but you probably going to talk to somebody else for that. But right now, I ain't built myself up this far to sit here and just baby you, because I gotta walk around your situation that you choose not to heal from. You know what I'm saying? So I realize I'm
Right.
only ready for. I mean, I'm only meant for like certain people. You know what I'm saying? So right,
Yeah.
just like you said, if you healed and all this stuff and trying to deal with an unhealed person, that's some hectic stuff. You
Yeah,
got
it's
the right to
bullshit.
even to put up with that person or not. That's up to you. If you feel like they're worth it, or if they, you know what I'm saying, if they got something within them. But at the end of the day, I would never, recommend it. Some of them not even worth it.
Yeah, I just tell them I feel like my leadership, my manhood, and my guidance and my provisions aren't respected here. So I'm walking
Yep.
away. Just tell
Not
them
even
that flat out.
acknowledged.
Not
Not even just let them know that, and then just go ghost, because there's no point, because you're going to deal with a whole bunch of emotions. You're going to deal with a roller coaster of
Facts.
trauma being thrown at you. It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
Can I add to
Oh,
this conversation a little bit on that second
yeah.
question?
Go ahead.
I didn't get around to answering it. I needed to do a little bit of research so I could really understand the whole pick me idea.
Yeah.
The way that I've after talking to a few ladies, the way I've come to understand pick me is that there's a slur of pick me, and then there's a reality of pick me, right? And the slur is what they're using to defamate women who are actually, it is actually themselves, and they're not pretending to be submissive. They're not pretending to be what they are. That's who they are. And most of them have actually gotten picked, right? That's the one. Like that's the slur. Like that's the women that are actually like they're not pretending to be who they are. They're not pretending that they believe these things. This is who they really are, but they're being called pick-me's, right? Then there's the other pick-me, right? The other pick-me is like the male simp. Okay? The male simp is someone who is using a tactic to get affection, validation, and to basically create the illusion of support so that they can be chosen, right? So the male simp is dangerous because the male simp becomes a passive aggressive person that later on ends up being just as abusive, potentially being just as dangerous as a stalker or someone who's jealous and someone who's vengeful and someone who's vindictive. Like that's a dangerous situation. I wouldn't advise any woman to get with a male simp, nor would I advise any man to get with that kind of woman that I think, well, that I've been told is the pick-me. The pick-me is the one that's not actually presenting herself. She's presenting what you say you want and packaging it so she can get what she wants in the end, which is to be picked and possibly get into a situation where she's gonna later on show who she really is. And by that time, the fangs is too deep for you to pull them out. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I get what you're
So
saying. I think
That's
that's what
fair.
they do. They're trying to compare it to like how we call the dudes the imps, right? But I don't think it's like that. It's more the way people use it nowadays. More that slur one you was talking about.
yeah,
The
yeah,
ones
yeah.
that's trying to make it seem like
For
that.
sure, for
Soon as
sure.
you side with a dude, then all of a sudden, or as soon as I'm gonna put it this way, as soon as a woman understand what a man go through, right?
Hmm.
Now all of a sudden, oh, you a pick me, you this or whatever. You supposed to be on her side or something like that. So that's
Yeah,
how it's being used nowadays. It ain't even. They really
yeah,
like genuinely care about men. That's the thing. The other ones don't.
yeah.
They care about themselves.
Yeah, the women that are slurring other women,
Yeah.
the women who are being called that they're actually quality women. They and most of them don't even care. Cause trust and
Yep.
believe, they're getting hella DMs. They're getting hella guys that like they're getting prospects and they're weeding through those prospects to find out who they really want. Because when men see quality women, trust me, especially when they're showing a certain level of empathy and understanding and they're being genuine. Oh, trust and believe, her box is fully packed with high prospects that she can weed out, right?
Yep.
But and that's the jealousy part because what that pick me, quote unquote, that pick me is doing, that slur pick me, just to separate it, right? What that slur pick me is doing is she has raised the bar. She has created validation, a safe space, understanding, empathy, and showed a man in so many ways that she's willing to be part of the program that he sets as long as there's communication of said program. And most men gonna fold to that. In fact, I would say that most men will submit to her before she ever has to show any signs of submission. Right?
Well.
And so that raises the bar. If you raise the bar on women like that, most women know that they may be able to have a guy for a night, but having him for life is a whole nother game.
Word.
That's a whole nother game.
Hey, I
They
need
won't have
y'all to.
access to that man's
Okay.
benefits. They won't have access to that man's insurances. They won't have. They might have access because she pretty. She might catch him out at the. She might catch his eye. She might, but I guarantee that man. He trying to hurry up and get home. I guarantee you that man is not going to divorce his wife for you. That man is not going to leave a quality 80% of a quality woman for no 22 nights stay at some hole in the wall, or even if he went way out, way left on some trick daddy stuff, he's not going to leave his wife for you. No matter what, he's not going to leave because he
Right.
knows that he got 80 over here. Men do math
Exactly.
very well.
They don't want to miss out on
And
nothing good for
in
sure.
most cases, men do not sacrifice 80 for 20. In most cases,
Facts.
when men decide to leave women, it's because the balance is way off. The balance is way. Women will sacrifice things that they're emotionally attached to when they step away from men, but men won't sacrifice something like they won't sacrifice no. I mean, not unless he's stupid from the beginning. No man is going to leave a woman who is actually a quality woman for a piece of just because she looked good.
That's the
Yeah, I can't see that. Nah, I can't see that. They don't,
that's
cause
the
dudes don't be
that's
doing
the
it for
reality of it.
emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, no emotions are tied to it. They just do it.
Right.
Hey,
He might.
before you
Oh,
set up
go ahead.
real quick though, I just want can y'all follow suit after what Coach did right there? Go on and share to like 10 people if y'all can for me real quick. I got another hour and a half for y'all, and
Oh, for
and
sure, for sure.
hit the FYP hashtag if y'all anything. If y'all outside the box in the comments, try to get me to 5K. If you in the box, don't tap. And yeah, we continue, man. Whichever one of y'all get on.
I mean, because I'm about to go back to work. I'll go ahead and throw my last little few
For
back in
sure,
there.
for
Um,
sure.
yeah. So I think that's what it is, man. It's the intimidation. It's the jealousy. It's that,
Right.
right? Now
Yep.
it's now that's for that's why they call that's why they slur these women as pick me's, right?
Yep.
It's the same reason why some guys slur some men as simps, right? I think it kind of works both ways in that sense, right? But the last thing I'll say is that the brother said something earlier about people picking or getting sought after by or like having a certain level of attraction. And then you came back and you said that you still have to decide who you want to be with. You ain't got to jump on everybody who jumps on you. You know, that's the bottom line. When somebody jumping on every opportunity that come their way, you know it's just thirst anyway. That's just thirst anyway. But that's all I had to really say about that. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times people don't really know. Oh, here's the last thing. I'm sorry, I'm buckling up everything. Here's the last thing is that I don't think this generation of youth actually believe in love. We live in a different generation, man. These kids are Wikipedia warriors and Google guardians. That's what they believe in. You know, that's their God. You know, they go to Google before they go to the Bible. Like that's what they believe is. And love is one of those
Wow.
things that is not
Wow.
like love is one of those things that is not Googleable with a
Well,
direct
that's all funny.
like yeah. Love is one of
Googleable.
those things that is not Googleable. Yeah, Googleable with a direct definition, because love is also based on your identity, your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your self-concept. Love is based on so much of your standards and all of that. And I don't think this generation really knows who they are. That's why we have all these new personalities and identities popping up. So love is really a fickle thing because identity is not there. If you don't have an identity, how can you identify with love? So
Right.
I don't
Right.
I think that's why this generation is probably the most transactional generation that we've ever seen, because it's much easier to create a transaction than it is to create a genuine interaction or dynamic a relationship with someone.
Mm-hmm. There you
Hold,
go.
hold, hold on. Can I say something real quick? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, he,
Let me give y'all some pregame. So I want y'all to think about it. I want y'all to picture this when I say it. Can y'all hear me good?
you sound a little foamy now or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay. Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah, we making you out. We making
Would
you
you
out.
change your mic or something?
Nah, it ain't the mic. It's just that I had a phone call. Can you hear me now?
I
Something
guess
with
you.
my.
Oh, yeah, I can do with
All
it.
right.
Yeah, go
Watch
ahead.
this. I'm gonna give y'all something that's very rare, and y'all might look at it different. But I'm gonna give you something very rare. If you and only if you believe in the Bible, this is what happened. When Adam and Eve was in the garden, we know that Eve took of the tree of knowledge and evil, knowledge of good and evil. She ate of it. Then she said, um, "Hey, Adam, take this fruit," basically, and then he bit of it. And then God came looking for them. They was hiding in the garden. And now, just let me finish. So when God came in the cool of the day in the garden, saying, "Hey, yo, what's up, Adam? Where you at?" And Adam said, "I hid myself." He said, "Why you hid yourself?" He said, "Because I was naked." He said, "Who told you you was naked?" And that's when we know that sin came into the world. And then we know that God took some animals and clothed them, right? We know that, right? And then due to sin, all this other wickedness came into the world. And then we know that angels and all that kind of stuff came down and met with the women and all that kind of stuff. They started having giants and so forth. And God flooded the earth. And then there was Noah and his three sons, his wife, and three other women, right? And then we know that after that, that all of those stuff that we hear, right? Just hear me out. It said during that time, the reason why God flooded because they were doing all the things that they wanted to do in their hearts, right? So we know that homosexuality, bestiality, violence, theft, criminal, all this stuff was happening. There wasn't no laws at that time now. So that means that because of sin, the natural state of man became what? In a place where people were doing whatever they wanted to do. If I saw something over there, that's where they get the whole caveman mentality from. You bust a woman upside the head, take her, drag her back up to your cave, and you do whatever you do to her. Yeah. All I'm saying is this. It was a mindset of the natural order at that time. Some people will get it and some people won't, and that's cool. The people that get it, I want you to understand that because of sin, people started doing things like crazy things, right? They were doing all man stealing, all that kind of stuff. And then Moses and his people in the children of Israel had laws. And the laws said, hey, don't follow the other people of the other people that's around you. You follow these laws. And it was against bestiality, it was rape, I'm sorry, grape, and all the other things, right? And people got it twisted. They was like, oh, you believe in slavery and all this? No, they didn't have to do slavery. It just said that was the law. If someone was a slave of yours, you do X, Y, and Z. If someone was committing adultery, you do X, Y, and Z. Didn't mean you had to commit adultery. Didn't mean you had to have slaves. Didn't mean you had to have this and mean you had to do that. And people twist that up and they say, oh, no, that's what it said. Okay, then years later, we know Jesus Christ walked the earth, right? And then he said what he said. I didn't come to do away with the law, but I came to fulfill it. Listen, I'm gonna give you prime examples of what this means, right? In a simple man terms, in a man-made term. If I say the speed limit is 75 miles an hour, do you have to do 75 miles an hour? No. You can do 80 miles an hour. But if you do 80 miles an hour and the speed limit is 75 miles an hour, you're gonna get punished for it. If you see the speed limit is 35 miles an hour in a residential area and you do 45 and 50 miles an hour, hey, listen, you get caught up and you hit someone, injure yourself or whatever, and they say, oh, we could measure how fast you've been going. We're going to punish you for that. People fail to realize the laws were not set in place for the righteous, but for unrighteous. You didn't have to commit these sins. People say, "Oh, well, women once they got the menstruation cycle, they could bear children." You don't have to bear children, and you don't have to do anything with them. That's the thing people fail to realize. It just says simply that once a person reaches a certain age, they reach their bearing children cycle. Now, what society did said, hey, no, this is wrong. It's not wrong. It's just simply, oh, you could have slaves, servants, and all that. No, you have to federalize. People federalize. You don't have to have servants. He didn't ever say you had to have servants. He never said you had to have a woman that was starting her administrative cycle at 14. He never said that. He just simply said once they did this, they were able to be able to do these things. And what happens at over time, people fail to realize because their minds are in a finite mind, fail to realize there's a law to set up. You have to see the righteousness in the law. So I don't have to if it says turn the other cheek, it doesn't say I have to turn the other cheek. It says if someone strike you, turn your other cheek. He didn't say, hey, if you turn the other cheek, you're going to condemn to hell. It just says turn the other cheek because he wants you to do the better part of it. But if it doesn't come to that, like it says, be angry and sin not. But hey, if you do, then that's on you. You need to fix that with him. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna land my plane. Too many people take Bible scriptures, take other doctrines, other religions, and they take it in a personal perspective, and they think that it means that. And like I could go back to this right here, and I can say, hey, listen, I understand the righteousness and the law. If I'm in a residential neighborhood and the speed limit is 35, that's teaching me to stop, to be able to stop fast enough if a child run out and go get a basketball. If a woman is going to the mailbox, if a man is going to the mailbox, if something is going on in the roadway that I need to be able to stop fast enough, 35 miles an hour for this street is good enough. People forget that and they say, no, I can do whatever I want. Yeah, do whatever you want. They accept the consequences, whether they're good or bad. I land my plane.
Mm.
That was a lot to do.
That was all right. I felt like my plate was over full or something. That was a lot to eat at one time.
I think the point of it was, understanding what's in front of you,
You reap what you
and
sow. That's
then
what I got out that whole thing. Maybe that's
yeah,
what.
yeah, like
That's what I got.
the thing is this, right? Like, there's a brother on here on this app. He asked really specific questions that I love.
Oh,
He
it wasn't just so. It's if the speed limit in the neighborhood is 5 miles an hour, right? You can try 8 miles an hour and see the resistance in the law, you will slow down. But what people do is they
Your
speed
stuff lagging, my
and go
brother.
5
Yeah, the
like
kitchen, you're lagging really bad. We can't
Yeah, you
understand
lagging
anything you're
super
saying.
bad.
But let's let hashtag go ahead and speak, and then you can rebuttal back to that so that we can pass the mic because I'm not gonna be on here long.
Mm.
all right,
No
yes,
waste.
ma'am.
What's the deal?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So real quick, the idea of just understanding what you're dealing with, what accepting whatever you're dealing with. Like the brother was speaking on earlier, like Laugh was speaking on earlier, and he said it in brief. A lot of I think one of the biggest issues with both men and women is that we will get into these situations where we actually think that we are a bigger factor to that person than we actually are. We have to stop thinking that if we just add this, they'll be all right. If we just get them to do that, they'll be all right. If we, like, you have to literally start saying, if they never changed, are you going to be okay? If they never grew, are you going to be okay? Are you fine with where they at? Are they enough where they are? And then I think that will make the process easier. And another thing is, people have to, I don't know, just, and this is just my opinion. I think when it comes to choosing people, a lot of people walk into these situations and they have expectations.
Hmm.
And they make expectations based on things that they've never seen. You don't even see the manufacturer for these expectations. That's just like, now I'm gonna go visit his place for a second, right? That's just like if I come to Laugh's house and Laugh laughs. That's what he do, right? He laughs. But I'm coming over there and I say, I'm gonna need you to be sad. And then later I get mad, like because he's my friend, he's like, no, hey, I'll give it a try. But then I get mad at him for not being sad enough.
Right.
But he's not sad, he's laughing. And I'm mad at him for not being sad enough. Like that. doesn't make any sense. I think people are walking into these situations with expectations that don't exist. His standard is laughter. And I'm going over his house asking for him to be sad. And then I'm beating him up for not being sad enough. Like, and then on top of that, I go back and tell all my friends, everybody on social media, whatever, this person was never sad enough for me. That wouldn't even make sense. But what happens is we live in a world where people will forget that you had that expectations of this person that there was never a manufacturer for. I had these expectations of laugh to be sad, but then they'll forget that. They'll forget that he's laugh. They'll forget that what he does is laugh. What they'll do is they'll say, "What's wrong with you? Why didn't you be sad enough?" You know, and that's where I hope this is not going over people's heads. But the whole point that I'm making is that the world we live in lets people literally be the real definition, not the slur definition, but the real definition of narcissistic or entitled. And then they will beat you up for not conforming to it simply because they have a gang that beats people up for not conforming. But men don't have a gang for beating people up that don't conform. We don't have a gang for that. But the sister code does. And in fact, it not only has a gang, but it has a system set up with bodyguards that protects the gang who beats people up. And I land my plane.
Okay, so let me say this. I'll land my plane. I'm gonna say it real quick once again. So if you are a biblical person and you believe in, God, Jesus, or you believe in the Bible, or whatever, when they said that they ate from the tree of knowledge and good and evil, sin came into the world, right? And then from that point, all wickedness came into the world. That's what we got to understand. All wickedness came into the world. So the people that are doing things like LBGT community and all this stuff and violence and rampage or beating up on people, whatever, all the violence and all that kind of stuff were the natural state of the people once sin came into the world. And people don't want to accept that, but that is the actual natural order of things once sin came into the world. Now, when the children of Israel, whatever came and all that with out of Egypt and all that, that's when you had morality, you had laws, you had all that kind of stuff. Now, once that stuff came into play, that's when it was like, oh my goodness, we have to stop these people from doing all these things because X, Y, and Z. But if we go back to the barbaric state, that means that people was doing whatever they want to do, whether it was men with men, women with women, whether it was animal bestiality, no matter what it was, because you had those things. There was no laws. There was no laws. What laws they had other than the Bible? If other people say, hey, yeah, we had these type of laws. Okay, what was your laws? Because every nationality right now, if you go to every nationality, right? Let's just hear me out for a second. If you go to every nationality, whether Indian, Native American, whether it's whatever country, right? And you go to all the nationalities, right? And they all in their respective tribes. If you time goes back, those tribes get smaller. Who were they sleeping with? Who were they battling with? Who were they fighting with? And people don't want to accept that truth. If you go back, if everyone go back to their respective tribes, if the Ethiopians go back with the Ethiopians, the Asians go with the Asians, the Chinese go with Chinese, and the Russians go with the Russians, and the Europeans go with the Europeans, and the Indians go with the Indians, and the Native Americans go with the Native Americans, and the Africans or whatever. Who was in their tribe? They was all the same people. So if they was all the same people, what was going on at that time? That means that it got smaller. The tribe got smaller because we have been having more children during this time and before, in the early 90s and all that, 7 kids, 10 kids, 15 kids. And they was having less children and they was living less because they didn't have dental hygienists. They didn't have therapists. They didn't have doctors. They didn't have people to be able to X-ray and do all the kind of stuff like we have now. Who were they sleeping with? The same people when they tried. But those tribes that were smaller,
Who were they sleeping
they
with? The
had to
same
try
people
to
when they
survive.
tried.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear somebody say. I heard somebody say tribe, but I didn't hear nothing.
No, that was your echo back. If it looks on, Coach, I just looked. I don't even know what I looked away. Looked at something. I don't know what that was.
Okay,
Uh,
so I just need somebody to answer that question. So they have to be a creator, or we just running around on
hmm. The heck just happened? Two people dropped at the same time. That was scary.
Yeah, I thought the live was the crash.
No worry, that just scared me. What the heck was the chat?
Listen, these questions that we got right here, right? Why men have boundaries without some women getting angry? I answer that question.
Hmm.
Men have boundaries and some women get angry. Men get angry because they don't want to stand up to the standard, right? And then you go
Right.
to why are women that want to try their men have a leader, men like a leader considered pygmies. The women that listen, men that understand, they don't consider them as pygmies. Society, women that don't want to just say, "Hey, listen, you know what? I like you, I love you, I'm in love with you. I'm gonna just follow what you say because I trust you." And if you if it's something that's sketchy, I'm going to say, "Hey, listen, babe, you know what? That right there ain't gonna work. I'm gonna tell you why. X, Y, and Z." It's up to the man to say, "You know what, baby? What you saying X, Y, and Z? That I didn't think about that." If a man just say, "You know what? Forget what you saying. You just your X, Y, and Z ain't making no sense," without considering, it's a fool because you never know what someone else knows that's next to you because other people can see things that we don't see. So I say that. And then, do you believe men's standards are low, too low? No, I say I'm gonna answer the first part. The reason why I don't think men standards are too low because a man that makes $1 million a year and walk into a Waffle House, see a beautiful woman, and see her personality, see how she court everyone and treat everyone. He can sit back. He ain't even being served by her. He can just sit back and just see how she serves someone and say, "Hey, you know what? Hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. My name is so and so, blah, blah." He ain't got to show him fancy things. He ain't got to do none of that. He just talk to her, get to know her, and she be like, "Oh, yeah." If she's interested. See, the question is the woman interested? Because most women are not interested in your finances if they feel like they can't deal with you on a daily basis. Because some men may be attractive, but they're assholes. And some men that are unattractive might be genuine men, vice versa. That goes both ways. So I'm not gonna say that. That right there is a double entendre, a double sword, right? And then the last part is, and women standards are too high. We already know that part. A lot of women's standards are too because we see men go get women that work at Walmart, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, Publix. We see men do that. But how many times have you seen women go into those same spaces and meet a man at Burger King, Waffle House, Chick-fil-A, Publix, or Kroger? We don't see that often. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. We don't see it often. So yes, women's standards are too high because hypothetically speaking, I'm just gonna say this. If say hypothetically speaking, if the woman that I meet and I'm working at Kroger and she went to college, she had a good background, her family taught her different things like that. She still is responsible for vetting and having to make sure that man is vetted and see that he's a good man that just had a bad outcome. And then she got to go from there. But what a man doesn't do is say, hey, I met a woman at Kroger, sweet, kind, made sure my bags, groceries, all that good. And guess what? Outside of that, every time I come in there, if I just go to the restroom, she's still nice to me. And guess what? When I came to talk to her, she didn't look at me like a bum when I just dressed normally. See, what happens is women typically be visual to the A as far as the way you dress. And a lot of men judge women based on the way they treat them. And we know that. That's all. Let's say I land my plane.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Okay. I ain't looking at that angle. What you got, Coach?
So, yeah, I wanted to answer number 3. I haven't answered that yet. Do you believe men's standards are too low? For the simple fact that the majority of the Pookies and Ray Rays out here just impregnating all these large amounts of women, it's a small group of men doing that. So I'm gonna say no, men's standards aren't too low, right? Because the majority is not the ones out here doing that. I'm gonna say our standards are real simple. We just want a woman that's not a 304. We want a woman that's gonna respect us and bring peace into the household and not try to undermine our leadership. That's it. It's simple,
Back.
real simple. Like
I
that's
agree with
it.
that. I agree with that totally.
Don't don't
Yes,
be
sir.
combative. Don't run your mouth all the time. If we having problems and I tell you let's just drop it for now, just drop the shit and we'll get back to it. Simple shit. Respect the direction I want to take the children in during raising the children. Just respect the leadership. Like you land with me, you got married to me. Why you not gonna respect me? That don't make any sense. Real
Back.
simple. Real
So let me
fucking
ask you
simple.
this, Coach. Let me ask you this. I, I didn't mean to cut you off, host. I want to ask this real quick. Now, if a woman come up to you, right, you think everything is good, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
say, just hypothetically speaking, I believe in the Quran, I believe in Judea, whatever religion you believe in. You say, this is what I believe in. And she said, oh, yeah, I believe in that. I support whatever you believe in, whatever, so forth and so on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she ain't in that way. What I'm asking is, what is the distance that you've given her to be able to for you. I'm not talking about for her, for you to be able to say, you know what? If I say I'm going 6 months celibacy, I ain't sleeping with her, I ain't gonna kiss her, none of that. I'm just gonna be a gentleman. I'm just saying, you just being a gentleman, you just being nice, taking out all that kind of stuff. And she said, oh, you know what? You believe in Judea, you believe in Christianity, you believe in Buddha, whatever. Just say whatever you believe in. You doing whatever you need to do, right? And
Mm-hmm.
she following along, right? And then when you say, hey, it's time to get it's time to get baptized, it's time to show your loyalty to God because it's not to me. Because at the end of the day, you can follow me, but at the end of the day, if I fall off track, you have to still follow God because that's the most important part. If she say, I'm following you, what do you do then?
Well, you gotta let her know, like what you said, you laid down the foundation, you laid down your blueprint, the standard of what's required to be with you. If she don't want to listen, that shows that she's combative, or it shows that she's just not cooperative. So the best thing to do from that situation would be to walk away. But that's why before I even deal with women, bro, I'll talk to them for 3 months straight and ask the most important questions I feel are necessary in order for me to have a successful relationship. Before I even get to the dating phase, we're gonna talk for 3 months. And
So
that way
so
I can
so
avoid.
so
So hold
so,
on. That way I can avoid a situation where I get extremely attached to this woman, right? Where if she's the type of woman I don't want to be with, she doesn't have the option or choice of sinking her hooks into me to get me into a toxic cycle.
Okay, I totally agree with all that. Now let me ask you this: are you okay? I'm gonna say this: are you okay with expressing that, or you
No,
want?
I don't express that with them because you're giving
Okay,
them the tools to manipulate you if you do that.
yes, sir. Now we on the same page. Yes, sir. All right, cool. See, hey, host, you got it from here, cause we on the same page, respectfully.
But to answer the other part of the question, and a woman's standards too high, I'm gonna say yes and no, because they get on the internet, and say they want a six-figure man, over 6 inches, 6 feet tall. That's not a lot of black men. That's a very small minority of black men. So that standard itself is delusional. If you think they're running into men like this on a daily, that's cap. They're definitely not. But we know what they're doing in between looking for that man. They're having relationships with who? Average men. So they have this, they
Yeah,
get on the internet and
yeah, yes, sir.
project this false high standard that they have because they're not happy with the type of men that they have because they're unhappy with themselves. So they in a sense they have a high standard, but at the end of the day, it's a standard that's so minute that they're not actually going to ever really get that. There's not even enough black men
No,
in
not
mass. Wait, hold on. There's not even enough black men in mass for every single black woman to get a black man off the jump in America. They outnumber us. So for them to even have that type of standard to
right.
a 10 or 5% or 8% of the black man's population, it's ridiculous. And most of these women are average at best who have these types of standards.
You
So
know. I just want to piggyback off that respectfully. And you know another thing? Yes, they're average at best. And this is another thing. A lot of them runs from it, and a lot of them know that it is true what we saying. But it's like, you know what? Yeah, you say what you want to say, but God say something different. They bring God into it, like God got something to do with your sexual habits. Like it's so asinine. It's crazy, right? Now watch this. I'm gonna tell you how I know that they do that, right? I have my personal self have been with women that were supposed to be social workers and all that kind of stuff. I know that I'm not that type of dude that's moving like that. But guess what? When a man is doing all the things that they thought that a man should do, because they complain about the men don't do what they supposed to do. And then when a man is doing certain things, they try to involve themselves. Ma'am, we get it. You have been capping. I call them capalicious because they capping. But this is the thing I want to say at the end of the day. We get make excuses, man or woman. We can make excuses. We can say, hey, no, this, that. But at the end of the day, you can make excuses. But excuses doesn't have any boundaries. Because I can say, hey, today, I did tomorrow, I can say, yo, no, you can't do that. You have boundaries, you have standards, you have appreciation for yourself, and you have, uh, listen, I ain't doing that, and I'm not going to push myself in that direction. You can't budge them respectfully. Now, someone that may be on a higher caliber, whether it's male or female, maybe could budge them. But guess what? Everyone get used at the end of the day if you're not focused.
I mean, you only really get used if you allow it. Like if you're not aware of what's being reciprocated back to you. That's not like not having that awareness is why you get used at the end of the day, right? So most of the time, like he was saying, the transaction thing, most of the things are transactional, right? You're providing for a woman, protection, leadership, all these things that you're providing for a woman, the way you look, your finances, all of these things have to be in order to really get a woman a substance or a virtuous woman. Because if you don't have these things, no woman who's looking for something serious is going to take a risk on somebody who can't provide those things for her. So if you don't have that ability to know that what you're giving, you're not getting back in an appropriate way, then you'll find yourself in a situation where you feel like you're being used because you really, if they can't reciprocate anything back.
Mm. All right, that's all that really matter for real, man. You're getting the same thing you're giving up. Some stuff be so one sided and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. It's called extreme givers and extreme takers. It's two
oh,
people that's unhealed in a relationship
Yes,
with
sir.
each other, but they're the polar opposites.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Make it work because of that
Right.
sex.
Yep. That's what it is. Lusting after the flesh. You know, this
Mm-hmm.
woman, she ain't giving you nothing but box, and you think, well, that's good enough.
Exactly.
They call
That's
the
actually what this other live about. I was about to probably gonna get in there in a minute. That's what she
So
talking about too. I don't know if she's still talking about. Oh shoot! Lucky.
let me say this. Let me say this so give a different perspective. So I think that when a woman puts another woman's, yeah, another woman's, I say with an S because they don't know who or what woman hair they put in, whether it's clean or not clean. They put it in their hair. And if you notice, most women that have uh these fights on social media and they start pulling their hair and all that kind of stuff, it's not women that are natural. The natural women really not fighting like that. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos, yes, with the natural women, but I'm talking about for the majority part, these the women that they have weed in their hair, they overweight, whatever, and they fighting each other, right? And then when men bring it to the mental, they say, "Oh, you can't do that." But how many times? I just want to ask you, gentlemen, how many times have you seen big men? I'm talking about big men, sloppy men fighting each other. How many times have you seen men that are fit fighting each other, other than backyard brawls and all that kind of stuff? I'm talking about men that just in the streets randomly. I'm talking about they both big, they both got a fitness going on, and women are like, oh my God, this nigga look good. They fighting each other. We don't see that. You know why we don't see that? Because people tend to, when they got a regiment and they got a structure, they say, oh, nah, I ain't for the waste, I ain't for to do all that in the streets. It always be slim dudes, baggy sand, baggy pants, um, sandals on, all that kind of stuff. And they get beat up, and then next thing you know, somebody pull out a pew pew. And that's what they say on social media. Pew pew. Yeah, man, listen, man. All I'm saying is this here. At the end of the day, most people that understand that, hey, listen, we should build together and appreciate each other and want to see each other grow are not out here doing these different situations where they trying to overtalk someone, fight with someone, telling them, oh, you can pull up. I don't care where you live at. You can pull up. Man, shut up. Right. Just shut up. We're trying to build over here. We're trying to get people to understand that, hey, listen, we was out here in these streets. We made a lot of bad choices because we didn't have the responsibility. And then they turn around and say, oh, you think because you're better than me? No, it's not that I'm thinking I'm better than you. I'm just trying to tell you, like, listen, youngin, you gonna get up here and you gonna feel the same thing we feel. But guess what? We gonna be great because we got it at an earlier age than you did. And at the end of the day, all I'm saying, I'm just land my plane right here. A lot of people don't get it. We are struggling out here. We are doing bad. Think about it. And if you want to go to the biblical context, it said it rose up the dance, and they was not dressing modest and all that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. You doing what you're doing, but at the end of the day, ask yourself: are you doing what you're doing? Is it the attention that you want to build something, or is it the attention that you want to be able to say, "Oh yeah, he was checking me," vice versa, or she was checking me? You losing. You losing. Because you ain't building nothing. They're saying, oh, yeah, I look good. Okay, you look good. And so what? Oh, I look good. Okay, nigga, so what? You look good. All right, you look good. I got deep in my voice. You look good. All right, yeah, you look good. Okay, cool. You got tight jeans on with your sevens on, and you in that. Man, come on, bro. You losing at the end of the day. But guess what? What if you was winning and you was building something that's going to help somebody else get into another position so they can be able to build something? And you want to help someone else, and that person going to help someone else build something. Same for the ladies. You a boss chick, but you got your own restaurant, but you got the information to help someone else build their restaurant. Oh my God. I land my plane.
Okay. Hey, this world we live in, man. Hey, I'm about to probably start it back up tomorrow, man. Another topic. I'm about to hop in this live real quick and see if I can catch her before I go to bed. They talking about if y'all want to go over there, they talking about people that have nothing else to offer but sex and all that stuff. That's what they talking about over there. So that's gonna be a good topic. I was gonna make a topic about that soon too. Open some minds up real quick, man. People need to bring more things to the table and stuff. But yeah, if y'all follow me already, I'm gonna probably I'm gonna switch over to the other live, be in there probably about a few minutes, and then I'm gonna get off all the way off. But I'm gonna get off now though, off my platform and go to the other one. If I see y'all over there, I see y'all. But I appreciate all y'all, man. And you was preaching down there for sure, man. A lot of the stuff is in the Bible. I hope people don't know that. But all right, y'all. I'll catch y'all though for sure, man. Appreciate y'all.